Oh, it says live.
Oh, good. So, how are you this week, Dave?
I'm okay, Buzz.
So this week we have a guest, Mark. So if anybody's got any Power Ranger questions or Sentai or Star Trek, this is your guy.
Do you want to introduce yourself, Mark?
Yeah.
Just in case.
Sorry, I was loading up the so I could see the chat as well and stuff like that, even though I'm logged into my other account. Hello, I'm Mark. I run a YouTube channel. I know about toys. I know David World Toys. I am Star Trek guy as well as Power Rangers, Super Sentai, anything from the 80s cartoons and stuff like that. So I pretty much know. But yeah, that's roughly about me. I'm never really good at talking about myself. It's always those weird things. I'm like, I don't know what to say. Yeah, so I'm more like, I don't know what to say.
He's normally hosting this chat panels, not like behind the scenes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very, very weird because normally it's me asking the questions and going stuff like, oh, hey, so what got you into toys? How did you do this? What did you do that? So yeah, I'm very kind of normally asking questions.
So this is going to be a bit strange for you tonight, then.
Kind of. I'll just chat. That's what I normally do. So I'm more than happy to talk about toys.
It's actually a good thing that you've actually come on tonight, Mark, because I picked up. It is a Sentai series as well. Plus, they made the American version. But I'll show you the guy that I found on Saturday in a little while when we usually do like our toy haul if we've picked anything up during the week kind of thing. So Dave already knows, because if you've watched the YouTube, I do the YouTube videos as well. I usually do my haul videos. Now that the car boot sales have started up in Scotland, hopefully maybe get one every week, depending on weather-wise, because at the minute it is blowing a gale up here. So it depends if it's... I might be on Saturday, but it just depends. Oh, talk of the devil. Good evening, Mr. Rum.
We got pineapple pizza. You want to come on?
Yeah, I would love Ceresis to come on again, man. It is brilliant. I have the pepperoni, not pepperoni, it's pineapple pizza.
You basically, Mark, it's just a puppet that comes on and the guy that talks with her through a puppet, and it's unbelievable.
It's not a puppet. It's real, remember. He's real.
Is it like it's real? So...
Yeah. He has is it Jabba's monkey lizard?
Oh, I know that. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah. Hence, what I'm guessing is from what I can see on the
picture.
On the image.
Yeah, the guy in the picture is the person who like comes on a bit.
Pizza.
That's pretty cool.
That's the latest done a live earlier on, but it was an unboxing. He did get some nice pieces, like really nice pieces. But he's also now on Twitch as well.
Yeah.
So
that's pretty cool. So I see that Baz. I see you've got some Power Rangers and Super Sentai right behind you on your top shelf. I was just like, oh, that looks all pretty swanky.
He's got quite a good lightning collection as well. You know,
I've only got about 10 figures so far. I was a bit late to the party.
I don't worry.
Most of them will be on top for that one, so
don't worry. They'll come back again.
You've only got the cycle end, don't you, Dave?
See, Dave does want to collect the lightning collection. He was just like, Bandai's better. I love Bandai too much. I can't go over to Hasbro. And I was just like, well, that's fine.
Yeah. I think the only lightning figures I've actually bought is Baz's fault. It was the Psycho Rangers set 5 for like 40 quid from GameStop or something game in the UK. You know.
Oh, hey Rob. Thanks for coming on last Thursday. I appreciate it, brother. I don't know if you've seen you probably wouldn't have seen the live stream last week, Mark, but we had Tats and Toys on, and he builds his own mass vehicles.
Oh yeah, I think Dave mentioned that to me. They did. So yeah, I remember we were talking about it. So it's been mask. It's something that I may have seen an episode or two, but I don't know too much about the toys.
It's quite a good short. It's only a short line of figures to collect, but there's quite a few details. But then you build like certain vehicles out of Coke cans and that sort of stuff.
Oh yeah, that's what you were saying. That's pretty cool. That'd be something interesting to see.
I see some definitely quite a good mask can collector.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Like I've never really seen someone make toys out of like tin cans or like Coke cans and stuff like that. So I think that is pretty sweet, to be fair.
Yeah,
I know, because he's auctioning the big one off. So hopefully, once he gets all the information, he's going to let me know, and then we can try and help him out with the auction kind of thing.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So Matt, do you actually collect toy lines, or is it just?
So
do you actually collect toy lines?
I do. Well, I collect Figma. So I do quite like Figma. I don't actually have any. Well, they're all over on the bed. So I collect Figma. I used to collect figure arts for some time, mainly the Dragon Ball Z range. I really did like them until it was like, oh, look at this body of Gohan. Oh, it's just a Goku body. Great, with just a different head. So I kind of stopped collecting because it was always the same generic thing that would come out. If it wasn't Marvel, then it was just like, oh, here's Iron Man, which, to be fair, I like Iron Man, but I was a bit kind of like, I'm a bit bored of collecting them because they just shot up in price way too much. So like back when I first started collecting, they were like £25, £30 a piece, which I was like, oh, that's really awesome. And now it's like, oh, £60, £70, and it's pretty much the exact same thing. So I'm very selective of when I buy them. Lightning Collection is mainly the main line that I collect because I decided, I was like, well, I didn't buy Bandai, so I'm now going to buy everything that Hasbro throws at me. And it's an expensive line. It's so expensive.
Evening, Simon. I hope you're having a good day.
But I think that's. Do I collect anything else? Sometimes Super Sentai. Depending on what it is, but if it's like, so the new series is Zenkaiger at the moment, but rather than collecting everything from it, I was like, oh, I'll collect the mechs, which I think I'm just missing one at the moment. Then it was the gears, but rather than collecting every single gear out there, I was like, well, I'm just going to collect the series that I've got. So we'll go Kaiger, Lupin Ranger versus Bata Ranger. Oh no, I didn't actually get one for Rhea Soldier. So hello, Fabulous Disaster. Hello. So yeah, that's actually one I didn't actually get, and I never really kind of thought of it, but it is what it is. But yeah, I think that's the main little things I mainly collect. So if I collected any more, I'd be very, very poor. I don't want to be poor.
We both know how it feels, Mark. Don't worry.
It's like every other kind of line as well. Is it? It's always the same body they use, but they just change the head sculpts. It's like, I have a few Black Series figures, and I probably have like the same figure, but it's just a different sculpt, or it's the same sculpt, different colors. But if you're a completist, you want all of them for your collection kind of thing. It's just one of those weird things. I wish Hasbro would do things a little bit better kind of thing. Not just Hasbro, and all the lines.
Well, Hasbro at the moment, they seem to have really messed up with the Ninjetti line, and basically it's the same body on all of them, it'll be pink and yellow, which will be completely different body molds, but all the rest are exactly the same, and they've messed that up massively. So I'm like, I know that if I think because I think it was it white, blue, and black were the ones that were really kind of bad. So if I got them and they had missing heads, I'd be like, I wouldn't care. So I'd just be like, I'm gonna stop collecting, and I probably would have sold it all off because I'm very weird like that. If it messes it up, because the Matty Thundercat line I used to collect as well, and then Lino and all that. Mine weren't messed up, but other people were, and I was like, I don't want this anymore. So
they were like 60, 70 quid a pop, weren't they, Mark? If I can remember rightly, weren't they?
They were for the subscription. I think like 25 quid each. So it was So it was you paid £25, I think, and then you got the figure. So that to me was a bit kind of. I got it to the end because I had to pay it. I couldn't really get out of the subscription thing, which was really, really bad, and I absolutely hated it. And now they live under my stairs, in all wrapped up, and they'll probably be sold at some point. But yeah, so yeah, that's it. Was it Tatton's Toys 75? Asked which toy line do I have more of, and it's nice to meet you as well. I have more of the Hasbro line through the Lightning collection. I have quite a lot of Figma as well because I went full on when they first came out. I was just like, I'm gonna buy as much as I can, and I know that they. Yeah, I was just like, oh great, what have I got myself in for? But they do the limited runs, so like they become really hard. Like, so if you ever want to collect Figma, I always recommend buying them as soon as they come out, because if they go off in production, they become way too expensive. Like one figure could be released at like say £60, and then when you go, oh, I'll buy it a few years later, it's like, oh, 300 quid. Oh, I should have bought that when it dropped for the first time.
That was the same with the Dragon Ball Z Bandai SH Figuarts, wasn't it? The SH Figuarts, Dragon Ball Z, and Marvel you collected as well, the Avengers.
Yeah. Well, with Dragon Ball Z or the Dragon Ball range, it was very much Goku, Vegeta, Piccolo, Gohan were all the basic ones that you could get for dirt cheap, but like ones like Trunks, Krillin, probably like other ones like that, the first wave were super expensive. So like they were probably dirt cheap when they came out, but if you wanted Trunks or Krillin, it's like £300-400 if you wanted that one. But they do re-releases. So and now the most common one's Goku Super Saiyan. It's very, very rare that something new will come out that is like a new sculpt or something like that. So I was just like so I kind of stopped collecting them because there was no point, but they make good money, so I should have really collected buying them. And you're welcome, Tats for Toys 75. You're most welcome.
Hey Rob, if you're free for 20 minutes, jump on the live stream again if you want, mate, and come and say hello and ask any questions you want again, pal. So
I'll put just in case the link goes a bit weird.
Always does, don't he?
It wouldn't be a YouTube stream without something going wrong at some point.
Yeah.
No, I was trying to work out because I've noticed like when Chubby and Matt and all that's done it the last couple of weeks, they've managed to pin it, but for some reason it's not giving me the option for that. So I don't know. I don't know if you need a higher sub count to do that or not.
Yeah.
From what I found on YouTube is if you're streaming from a desktop, then you can stream straight away. There's no requirements. It's only if you're doing it through like mobile or something like that, then it's like 1,000 subscribers, and that's the bare minimum. So I was like, oh, thank you, YouTube rep, for telling me this. I didn't even know this myself. So I think it's more for like if you're doing gaming and stuff, but you can stream straight away from zero. So I think that's always a good thing to do.
Mark's always got his special tips and hints for like people and that sort of stuff, which shocks me sometimes when he comes with it. It's
been doing it for years, so it's like little things that I've kind of picked up over the years, like since 2006. So it's all right at times. It's just it's a bit tiresome, but if I can help spread the knowledge, I will help spread the knowledge in any way I can.
So Magna Founder, that's Simon. He's asking, is anybody going to Echo this year?
I'm hoping to go to, yes. I'm possibly going to go. I'm going to try and get to this one. Yes.
See, I would love to go, but it's just a bit. It's a bit
Too
of
far
a
for
travel
you,
for
isn't
me.
Yeah, Echoes of Star Wars like convention. I think is it 40 years old this year or something?
I think so. Aye.
Yes, like the 40th anniversary for Star Wars figures and collectibles, and the only good thing for me is only like 20 minutes, half hour, 30 miles down the road for me, so it's not too far. It's a bit of a pain to get to, but it's very doable. Not like the guys are going down to Reading, and I couldn't do Reading, or Chatham or anything else. But I'm 98% going to Echo this year. I want to try and meet up with a few people and bits.
Is it just selling toys, or do they have like special guests and stuff like that?
They do have special guests, I think, Mark. With it's just Star Wars related, but it's in like a Reading shopping centre.
Oh, okay, shopping. Yeah. So Warwick Davis is like key prime. He's everywhere. I don't know why he's everywhere.
It's like Star Wars celebration, like they do in America, but where we go to the big conventions, occasionally they do all them in shopping centres, that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So the shops either take the store holders either take the shops up or around the big shopping area like itself. And occasionally they have one or two guests. I think they've got 3 or 4 guests this time again.
That's pretty cool.
He gets quite a lot of Star Wars fans up and down the country.
Oh,
I know awesome. Tez and Matt's probably going again.
I think they are. Aye.
Yeah.
I mean, I would love to go at some point. So.
Yeah, because I missed last year. I'm definitely gonna. If there's nothing else on that weekend or that's Saturday, I'm 100% going. I'm not doing much this half a year, but yes, I will be trying to get there, I should say.
I've got no makeup on. I'll pop on next week. That's not what he's wrong. I'll definitely get Tats and Toys back on again because that was a good one last week. I enjoyed that.
It's just nice to get someone different on, something different toys that a tiny bit, but when you get an expert like that on, it's just his knowledge and bits. He's just second to none, isn't
it? It's like having like Rob on kind of thing. If you're starting to get into mask collection or collecting masks, he's probably one of the best persons to kind of talk to get the knowledge to say, right, we've got this mask vehicle, but it's missing a lot of accessories. What am I looking for? What do I need? Kind of thing. It's probably the best person.
You a picture. This is what you're missing. Blah blah. Next thing he says, if you have any time you want to say, let me know. Come to a deal. That sort of stuff.
I think he's the only person I know. I think he's got at least 10 or 12. Is it the Boulder Hill playsets?
Oh wow. So I'm guessing that they had quite a lot. Because I know like cartoons and stuff. I know very briefly about some of the toys from when I remember as a kid and stuff like that. So I'm guessing like with Mask in general, there was loads of different things that came along, or was it just like a few things, or was it like I don't know, say like they had like 2-3 seasons of toys? Was that the main thing, or was it what?
I might get this wrong, but I think there was a couple of seasons of toys because you had the split second series as well. It was like 2 vehicles in one kind of thing.
Yeah, they did a hologram figure and not a normal figure. But it was like 2 inches tall.
Like a hologram like style figure, and then it come with a like painted figure kind of thing.
Yeah. Oh.
So Simon, we'll see you there, Dave. Because Simon's gone to the.
Yeah, I did say. Yeah.
Hey, John. Sorry to hear about your brother, by the way. I'm really sorry, man.
I'll tell you one thing, Baz. The community, like we always say, the community comes together. And basically, last Sunday, John, his brother, it was Paulie, with 4 of us did a complete live stream for like 8 hours, selling toys off where people donated, sent in, and the whole community came together. I know at the end of the stream, I think he raised like $4,000 for his brother's cancer. And that's without live chats, donations, and everything else. John was absolutely incredible how the community, when the community comes together to help people out, it's crazy.
The link's in the chat, John, if you want to pop on and say hi and talk toys kind of thing. You're more than welcome. It's like I say, anybody's welcome to pop on.
There's space right here, so if you do want to join in, you can.
So I'm going to be.
We're allowed up to 6 people anyway, so it's unbelievable. I'll tell you, I went on for like half hour to like say hello, auctioned off one of my old Star Wars toys for him, or newish ones. So we all did our bit. There was, he had like 100 people for the 8 hours plus. It was unbelievable.
That's really cool. Raising $4,000 is very impressive as well, which is really good. So I'm guessing it went to.
Just auctioning off these toys. That's without like the donations and everything else. I don't know what his final figure was. I hope you put it in the chat how much the final figure was. It's unbelievable how, like I said, the community came together.
And
it's like, especially if you know on Shabby and Tez and all that, man, the collecting community is amazing that we've got, and we all try and help each other, because there's been a few folk that have had things happened and the guys have tried to raise some money for them. So, it's always a good community that we've got here. It's always an amazing community. We all have a good laugh as well, man. Jumping onto like the Shabby and Tez's on a Friday is it's a good laugh. Yeah. It's always fun.
Well, that was on yesterday as well, Wednesday night. That was on Galaxy something, Toy Galaxy. For like a couple of hours as well. And that's quite a big 80s American channel as well.
That's awesome. I mean, if the community's strong, then it's nice that they just, as I said, came together, and helped out on that one. So I think that's awesome. Like I like it when communities do that. It's not many communities that would do it, but I generally think that's one of the better things to do.
Yeah, I think there's Star Wars, G.I. Joe, Transformers, all sorts of soldiers. Like everything was doing unbelievable.
That's pretty cool. Right. I just keep thinking of Flash Gordon for some strange reason. Just the toy line of Flash Gordon. That beam sword thing. Oh.
I think somebody did actually have the Defenders of the Earth 3 figures with Flash Gordon in it there as well.
Yeah, it's just it's one of the toy lines
that he done in his auction late, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, so many old toys that I remember, like Visionaries. What else am I thinking about? What?
So
yeah, there's tons of
and he's going to be popping on. So
hey guys,
John.
Hello, John.
Yeah, John.
Welcome.
You hear me all right? Yeah.
Yes. I can hear you perfectly, my friend.
Yeah. I heard you talking. It was great. Sunday was just awesome. The way the community came together and everyone that came on and was in the chat, it was just amazing. And we did have a good time as well. I mean, we raised over $4,000 in the auction, and there's over 3,500, I think, in the GoFundMe. So he's got over $7,000 to help him out now between everything. So, I mean, it really, between the family members that we had that donated and then the community in the toy community, it's just incredible. And it really blows us away how everyone came together to help out. And it really means a lot because like the last, I don't know if everyone knows this yet or not, but the last round of medications the insurance companies didn't want to pay for. And the medicine that he takes costs $1,700 for 1 month supply. So he already had to dig out $1,700 to pay for the last round of medications because they wouldn't pay for it. And this is something that's about the size of a quarter that he has to take every time he eats a meal. And it's like a wafer. It almost looks like a vanilla wafer or a cookie or a, you know, like what do you call them, a little biscuit, you know. And he has to eat it. He has to take 2 of these things whenever he eats a meal, because he doesn't have kidneys and he doesn't have a bladder, because all that was removed from with the cancer. They had to do surgery to remove everything because the cancer had taken it over. And so phosphorus and what's in bananas starts with a P. I don't know.
Potassium.
Potassium, yeah. Like those kind of minerals, like we take for granted that our body's going to process that stuff and deal with it. And it actually, I think our body produces enzymes or something that bonds with it on a molecular level that allows us to digest and use potassium and phosphorus and stuff. But if you don't have kidneys and a bladder and your prostate and all that, everything that was removed from him, he doesn't produce that stuff to use phosphate and potassium and stuff. So it becomes a poison, and it will literally kill him if he eats food, anything pretty much. So he has to have those wafers or he cannot eat food. So when the insurance company doesn't pay for it, it's not an option. You can't just go, well, I can wait a couple days and fight with the insurance company until they'll pay for it. If he does that, it's a choice of not eating. And how long can you go without eating? You know what I mean? So it's kind of like when you're sitting there at the pharmacy and they go, well, the insurance isn't going to pay for it. You're sitting there, okay, I either fork out my own money or I don't eat till I figure this out. Yeah. So it's kind of like, yeah. So he's already tapped into the money and used it to pay for this month's supply of medication so he can eat food. And then today, unfortunately, we got more bad news. The chemotherapy is not working at all. And the tumors that are in his lungs that they were trying to use the chemo to fight off, because you don't want to remove somebody's lungs. You know, they removed his bladder, his kidneys, all that stuff, because you can function without them. He can go to dialysis. There's other things they can do, but you really can't remove with your lungs. I don't even think we have artificial lungs yet, do we? I don't know how they would do that. So they're trying to fight those tumors that are in his lungs, and unfortunately they got bigger. They've grown almost twice as big. Some of them are 2.5 centimeters now, and the chemotherapy is just not working. So we got more bad news today that all their attempts to fight it just isn't working. And he's at the hospital right now. So they're trying
well the other day on the live stream as well.
Yeah, that's the thing.
You know.
He looks well. He seems to be dealing with this well, but his insides are just not as good as he looks, you know, and unfortunately. So they're going to try immunotherapies, try various other there's a number of different techniques they can use as treatments. So since the chemo didn't work, they're going to move on to something else, and hopefully they'll nail it down. And he'll go back in April for another CAT scan to see how this new treatment will be dealing, if that's working on the tumors or not. So, yeah, but yeah. So he's a fighter. He's a trooper. Like Salacious said, you know, my brother's like not going to give up. He's going to keep fighting it. So we'll just have to stay positive and fight through it, you know, like, so, yeah. But
I was watching Salacious's live stream earlier on, and I noticed you put something up, and I was like, it kind of hit home a little bit, kind of thing, Johnny. So yeah, I know what you and your family and all that's gone through at the moment.
Yeah.
support, is like I said earlier on, is that this community, if I kind of started joining in with the live streams with Shabby and all that, the community seems to come together as soon as one of us goes down, somebody tries to perk us up, kind of thing. So I'm so happy I'm a part of this community now. It's amazing.
Yeah. I mean, it's not just this one incident. I mean, when one of the other guys had something happen, what was it? Josh just lost part of his home to a fire. Everyone stepped forward. You know what I mean? It's like, so everyone steps forward and helps everyone out whenever something happens. So it's been really good when with everybody that's had tragedies or something happen, everyone stepped forward and helped out. And that's really good that we've got this good community of people who are very genuine and really nice and just good people. You know, there are good people on this earth, and we're these people, we're those people, you know. Like Spider-Man said, it's what we do.
Yeah, sometimes when you even lost a relative or a loved one or your family member, you always got like a non-family member that's helped you out quite a lot. And perfectly, I'll say it on stream, Mark's been absolutely amazing with me. And, you know, occasionally, you know, I call him Auntie Mark for some reason.
Yeah.
You know,
Voice of
when you need
reason.
to pick, you know, you need somebody to like pick your brain on something, and it's who can you actually talk to these days? Like, you can't talk to like your family or something. What else can you do?
Yeah,
you know, you've got a friend in there that's always there, isn't it? So it's crazy.
Yeah,
it's just like the Discord that I'm in, Dave. Like Billy's Discord.
Yeah.
I mean, some of us, we don't know each other. We're not in each other. We're doing our chats at night on a Friday night kind of thing. But getting to know the guys over the year, we're basically, what I say, we're just like one big family kind of thing. It's like you say, I don't have family, I have friends kind of thing. It's like the saying from Fast and Furious. So, but that's what I'm saying, even those guys, is that when last year I was in hospital, I mean, they were worried about us, and then Chris, the Peaky Arrow, when I come out of hospital, he actually sent me a gift, and I'm a big Joker and Harley Quinn fan, so he went and sent me up a Joker up for me. He said, I'm sending toys up, and then he was saying, it's like, no, I've managed to find some He-Man figures, so I kind of got a little bit excited. So, but when I actually opened up the parcel and seen the Joker, man, I was more excited about the Joker than anything else. It's always nice to have good friends that kind of look out for you and help you out when the best you can, kind of thing.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So
John, when you sorted that address out, John, can you send it to me when you get that address for that chap?
Yeah, yeah.
I've been busy and, you know, crazy, so.
Yeah, no, I'll get it. I just got everything except for, well, Kat just sent me her address, so I've got Kat's to box up. And then Dave's Dimension, I got to box up his poster. And then there's like a couple of big items that are going to Scuba Pete that I still have to figure out how to pack because they're so big. I don't have a box that big right now. So, but everything is boxed and labeled except for those couple items. And then it's pay for the postage and send them out. So yeah, I've spent basically half the day the last 3 days boxing everything up and labeling it. It's just crazy. So yeah, I know I've got it somewhere on the list of addresses, and I'll write it and send it to you.
I'll send you out to the person. Don't worry.
Yeah. Oh, I'm already subscribed. I was just making sure I was subscribed to Tats and Toys 75, and it looks like I already am.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
So Aaron's sending its love to you as well, John.
Yeah. Thanks, Aaron. Yeah.
While Aaron's in the chat, Mark, you've done some unique T-shirts and designs for Power Rangers. And I know different designs and T-shirts Power Rangers.
I have. I don't have any to hand because I think they're in the wash. I only have pictures.
Oh my gosh! Well, sorry.
Let me. it's just the website I have at hand. So I can't show pictures, can I?
No.
I can. Can you share the screen? No, or not?
I can't. I've got a link, but obviously it's to the store. But
I got you.
Put the link in the chat, Mark. There's a link in the chat. He's like bits and pieces then. Right in the chat itself.
We put 2 because there's only 2. Can't remember where it is.
That I just looked. It's over $200 now on eBay. And it was like a $20 ship a couple weeks ago.
Because it got showed off in the Mando thing.
Yeah.
I noticed that.
Everyone jumped their price up.
I even noticed the Naboo fighter for the Lego sets. I've noticed they've jumped up in price as well, John.
Yeah.
Has it really? Yeah.
Yeah.
I just found this the other day and I'm blown away by it. This guy is unbelievable.
The back from G.I. Joe.
Yeah.
Press the wrong button.
Well, like look at the detail on his hand and his arm. I mean, that's just like something else. I mean, the robotic parts are just incredible. And I love the elbow joints and the way this attaches. You can put all these other attachments on and it hangs the hand off the backpack here. So it's like, and then it's got these, it's got these removable plates. So you got the,
oh wow,
it's like a little removable plate that goes on there. So it's really cool. But the detail on this figure is just incredible. I'm blown away by it. It's one of the best that's come out for classified, I think.
Yeah.
It's just too bad it's so bloody hard to find.
Listen, army builder, isn't it, John? That's the problem. The army builders for G.I. Joe, you can't find anywhere. They just don't make.
Yeah.
You know?
It's like, why don't they do like a case where they put 6 of these in a case? Any of the troopers, like, you know, the Cobra troopers should have been like 6 in a case. This guy, the Alley Viper, like just make a case of just them.
Yeah.
Because everyone's going to want to troop build them and get, 3 or something. You know what I mean? So it's,
See, that always comes later, isn't it? It's more like Hasbro and all that will be like, well, we need more money, so we'll put them all in a case with a nice design.
Yeah,
but then or they just go, no one wants these things. Let's leave it. And then you're like, what? No, we want army builders. They're like, no one wants this. Sell 1 to a case in a really random store in Antarctica, and that's it. Like,
that's right. They'll send like 1 million to that. Yeah. But now that I have a bat in hand, it's like I would love to have. I mean, quite frankly, I'd love to have 4 or 5 of them. They're incredible, and just have them all in a row. Like lined up like an army, it would look really cool.
So the bat that you got a couple of days ago, is that similar to the vintage bat?
Yeah, it's very close to the vintage. Yeah.
But even the vintage one back in the day was quite hard to get hold of.
Yeah, I remember I had 2 of them as a kid. I had 2 of those vintage ones as a kid, and I don't have them now. And I can't find them for less than like $200 on any of the online stores and things. So I don't have any right now, and I'd love to have some vintage bats, but I just don't want to pay that much. I know of Megacon, but I have not been yet. We were gonna go last year. I was gonna actually drive up to Orlando and see Vindiana Jones on Twitter. If you guys know Vinny, I don't know, but because he lives in Orlando, and when I've gone up to Disney World, I tell him I'm in town, and he'll stop by Disney World and say hi. But we were gonna go to Megacon together last year, but then they canceled it or pushed it or did something because of the COVID, and so I didn't go. But maybe next year when they do it or this summer, whatever it is, I might go up to Orlando and.
Do you live down Miami way then, or something?
I'm near Miami, closer to Miami, And I used to go I went every year to the Miami Fort Lauderdale convention,
Yes.
which is called SuperCon, Florida SuperCon. But the last time I went, it was such a pain in the butt to get in and out of that convention center that, I mean, it took like a couple hours to get out of the city, and then to drive back home with the traffic was just nuts. It took us a total of like 3 or 4 hours just to get home, and I'm like 25 minutes away normally, you know. So it was just really, it makes it so I don't want to go next time, you know, because I'm just like, it's such a pain in the butt to leave when it's time to go home that you just don't. It just almost makes it like the time you're there isn't worth it. You know, I don't know.
Talking about that Megacon, there's like a Megacon coming across to the UK. I
Is
think
there really?
It's 26th and 27th of March at the NEC in the UK.
Pretty
so
cool.
we're like nicking American name cons now over here.
Huh.
You know,
I wonder
it's quite weird.
well, is Megacon a Reed Pop now? I don't know. Reed Pop's bought so many of the conventions up, I can't keep track of which ones they have.
The MCM group out, which is like the London, the XL, where Mark used to go down all the time, didn't you, Mark?
Yeah, they took him over, and made it a bit kind of a lot harder. But I'm guessing Brian was just like, well, if you're going to pay me millions, I might as well take it. You know,
well, officially, Brian's now contract's completely up with them, and I think Brian's now bringing Megacon over to the UK, and I think it's 20. You know, I think the first one's 26, 27 at the NEC in March.
That's not bad.
Interesting.
He's like, I'm bored. He's like, I'm bored of sitting around in my million dollar house. I'm getting back into the con game, boys.
Yeah,
let's do it.
He's basically going to do cons for 5 years, the old owner, and now he's 5 years. He's now up, and he starts this year. You know, like 2 or 3 months time.
That's not bad.
You know, no.
Oh, Dunedin is over by Tampa. I have not been. I have not been to Dunedin yet. No, but I'll.
Did you see the new Ninja Turtle? Oh, I'm thinking about buying a couple of the monster turtle figures. Like they do look cool. That Frankenstein looks amazing.
Yeah.
It's just not another toy line I want to go down a rabbit hole. I'm doing too far. I'm doing too many rabbit holes at the moment.
I'm just trying to stick to Playmates Turtles, and that's it. But I think it's the only ones I'm tempted to get. Have you got yours through yet, Mark? Your Ninja Turtle Power Ranger ones? Yeah,
I got the Raphael and Foot Soldier Tommy. So he's under my bed now, I think. Is he under my bed? He's under.
I'm going to pre-order. I don't usually do pre-orders, Mark, but I'm going to pre-order the Raph and the Tommy pack, and I might try and see if I can get the April New one as well.
I think let me have a look, because I think there's a few places that I actually had a look at. Because I know
put the link in for your t-shirts in the chat earlier.
Oh yeah, they're right there. It highlighted my name. So I'm just going to do if it does it separately.
Okay, just to make sure.
Because I don't know if it's. Yeah, it's because I'm not the host, so it'll put it there. And then there's the other one. Each one has like different things on there. Let me go there. Yeah, they're the two links.
John,
no, I don't want to add in here.
What's
John,
that?
you're starting collecting Grogu's or something behind you.
Yeah, right. There's a whole bunch of stuffed Grogu's, yeah. And Salacious George is here.
Ah, Georgie.
Hanging out.
Very nice.
In a Darth Vader case. I don't know if there's anything in this case. No, I don't think so.
So many Darth Vader cases is that you've got new then, John?
This one's got stuff in it.
No, John, about 10 or 20.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I think I've got 8 Darth Vader cases and
C3PO, the other one?
2 C3PO right now.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Oh, this one I think has stuff in it too. Let's see, this one's
Oh, we
got.
have another guest in the back.
Oh, this one's got a lot in it.
I'll bring him on while John's having a look at his.
General Nadine. Oh, it's
Hello.
Mark.
Hello.
Chevy.
Hi, boys.
Good
Hi,
to see you, my
Chevy.
friend. Good to see you, my friend.
I'd say what
Excellent stream on Retro Blasting. I loved it.
Oh,
That
yeah, it was
100%.
awesome.
Awesome. Yes.
Yeah, what a nice bloke he was, and we had a chat. I mean, he's been on USR, and we had a good time. Yeah, but it was good. It was a nice time. We had a good time with him. So, how is everybody? All right?
Really good, Chad.
I'm good,
well,
Shabby.
doing well.
I'm good.
Oh, I'm shattered. Honestly, I had that pandemic thing a couple of weeks ago, and that knocked me for six. And then I've been moving to another house. So if you look, yeah, got all those boxes everywhere and bloody all sorts. I don't know.
So are you sitting in the new place then?
Yeah, sitting in the new. I'll show you. Would you like to have the first look at my room?
Yeah, go
All
on.
right. Yeah.
I was going to show it on USR tomorrow, but I'll show you. So this is the new one. It's a bit dark because I've got all the lights to go, but it all goes in the back like that.
Well, that's much bigger, isn't it?
Yeah, it's got my own room now. So all my Masters University, everything's going over there. I've got to get lights in all the shelves and so forth. I've had to put my Black Series back down there again.
Huh.
So, but yeah,
That's a bigger room, isn't it?
much bigger. It's like, I'm getting rid of that fireplace there, and I'm going to put a TV in there, and I've got my couch in here as well. So, but I've just got boxes. It's funny. I was talking to Jason O'Toole before and Jen. The difference between collecting and hoarding is a very fine line. Do you not think, lads?
Yeah.
Don't go down that road, man, because I'm immediately trying to sort out the spare room that I've got, and that's just got totes and totes of toys, figures, vehicles, you name it, man.
I know. Just boxes and boxes. And then there's stuff you forget as well. And then there's stuff you're like, why did I buy that? Do you know what I mean? But obviously, we've got a storage shed at the back, and my oldest son's just been putting all the boxes away. But I don't know. I think I might do a selling thing or something. But I've never bought anything to sell it. But there's some stuff that I collected at the start that I just don't collect anymore. So it's just in boxes. Do you see what I mean? It's funny how your collecting moves on, if you will. You go on to something else and you forget that. And
Well, that's what...
two things. One, you got a swimming pool at that place.
No, not at this one. I've got a massive. It's the same land. I've got all the same land. And the funniest thing is, where my old house is next door. So when the new neighbours move in, I'll just make friends with them so I can borrow the pool and it won't cost me anything. That'll be a lot better. Hi, Mark. How are you?
You're not fine, you probably never met Mark.
Oh yeah, look.
Yeah.
The boost. Oh, I found it, sir. I found it, but I've still got the end of it to go yet. So,
yeah,
That's pretty cool.
So, do you have a Mando to go with that, Shabby?
Yeah, I've got the Mandalorian to go with it. That's pretty good. Saved me $400. Don't have to buy. I've got Mando ship. Looking at it that way, so.
So,
yeah, just like you know, Shabby, Mark, top left-hand corner in the red. You probably never met. He's one of our really good friends.
Hiya, buddy. Nice to meet you, my friend. Does Mark have a YouTube channel?
I do. Does. It's Heirloom, which is where is it? It's there, written there.
Got you. Right, you'll have a new subscriber after this, my friend.
Thank you very much. So, yeah. So I'm guessing.
So what are we talking about? You've been on for an hour. What have you been talking about? What have I missed?
Well, we had an introduction to Mark first into what he collected and everything else he does. He's more or less my YouTube king god, I call him.
Right.
He collects Power Rangers. Is it Cancoli, is it, Mark?
So yeah, the Figma, which they have like different like kind of anime brand names and stuff like that. So they did like the Cancoli range. They've done loads of different anime type figures, and They're really, really nice, but really, really expensive. And I hate the fact that they're super expensive. But
Is that what you do on your YouTube channel, Mark? That's that type of topic?
I talk about Power Rangers mainly. And then
Right, okay.
that kind of tickles my fancy mainly.
Nice.
Yeah, that's quite a bit. So I'm trying to get comfortable. I'm sat in the chair for like all day since like 7:30 a.m. So it's a little bit uncomfortable right now.
Mark, I've just posted your link to your channel on the chat. So
awesome! Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I just come to see you, boys. It's nice to see you.
And then John Drumton explained about his brother again and bits of what he did last Sunday.
How good was that orchard? I mean, like I said, I was in the middle of moving, but I kept catching it and catching it. It was what a great turnout, John. It was fantastic.
Yeah, yeah.
So how much did you end up raising?
Over 4,000 with the auction, and he's got like 3,500 or so on his GoFundMe. So he's got over $7,000 to work with, and he's already needed almost 2,000 of it. So it's already helped him out. So
that's fantastic. Congratulations. That's awesome.
So it really, really was.
Right, you promised the whole video, Shabby, because I'm going to show a few bits off that I found at the first boot sale on Saturday.
How much did you spend? About £2.50, something like that. You know?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Very close.
He went up to £4, Dave, and got a nosebleed. He was like, "What the hell? How much?"
I spent about £13 in total on what I got.
Wow.
Well, for you spending £30, that means you must have some good stuff.
13.
13.
13.
Yeah.
Come on, then. Let's have a look what you've got.
All right. So it looks like I'm going to have to go first. Right. So first thing I picked up was this guy.
Oh, neat.
Who is that?
He's from is it Super Samurai Squad?
Superhuman Samurai Squad or Gridman. He's one of the bad guys from it. From Playmates.
And I also picked up a My Little Vampire.
Oh, wow.
That's pretty cool.
I kind of go to the boot sale without finding Power Ranger stuff. So that's another one to add to the collection.
Nice.
And then I got like old school Spider-Man.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Did he have he has a web that comes out of his arm, right?
I think he did, yeah.
Yeah.
And then I found a couple of Mask Rider figures.
Oh, Masquerader, yeah.
I didn't know that they actually made. I know they've done like the Power Rangers in this style, but I didn't know they made the Mask Riders in this style.
Yeah, unfortunately they're missing their antenna, which is a bit of a shame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then found a little Ghostbuster trap thing.
Oh, yeah, that's awesome.
And then I found this bad boy.
Oh, he's pretty cool.
Whoa.
What is that from?
That's a Parademon.
Marvel.
DC.
Awesome. DC.
Oh, DC. Yeah, sorry. That's a DC one. You're right.
And then I found one of the newer, one of the modern
Dark Sides guys. Oh, wow. Yeah.
That's
Did
cool
he have a
too.
little figure that went on top? A little driver or something?
Yeah, he should have.
Yeah,
some
okay.
of the
little
modern
driver
ones,
goes up there. Yeah, I thought there was a little figure that goes on those.
I was quite surprised that somebody was actually selling these at the boot sale as well.
Huh.
Oh, wow.
I had to pick him up because, man, I love Shockwave. Shockwaves.
Yeah,
Between
yeah.
Shockwave and Soundwave are probably my two favourite characters. And then... Oh, the glare on this.
Good old
Oh,
yeah, Buffy. Spike, right?
But this one might be going to a good friend of mine because he's starting to get into Buffy again, so he's not actually got any like merchandise with Buffy. And then some of the other, I won't show them off. I'll just grab a handful out of the bag. But it's like I found one guy was selling like bags of figures, like 3 3/4 inch ones. So
Oh, that's Padme, right?
Nice.
Star Trek, yeah.
Yeah, there was a couple of Lord of the Ring figures in here as well.
That's awesome.
He's waiting. And then I'm picking these guys, especially these ones, up for my customizing in my Woody figure that I showed off.
Is that a Mortal Kombat one?
No, these are the lanyard. These are like the more.
Oh, it's just lanyard. A regular lanyard one. Oh, okay.
And then Captain Jack.
Jack Sparrow.
And I've been picking these up for my nephew because my nephew loves these lantern figures. And then Jurassic Park as well.
Yeah.
Also found a few in the bags that I got. There was also a few reaction figures.
Oh,
so I got
Jack Skellington.
I got Jack. I got his girlfriend. I got Corbin Dallas. I got Spock. And I've got I cannot pronounce her name properly. Is it Uhura? The one that does the communication.
Oh, Uhura. Uhura.
Yes, that's it. I just cannot properly.
Nichelle Nichols played her. Yeah.
And I meant to show this off last week, but I forgot all about it. But I ended up picking up.
Oh, nice! Yeah.
So our local B&M store had these for 30 quid last year, and they were reduced down to a tenner this year.
Oh wow!
That's not
yeah, I'd have grabbed that for a 10. Yeah, I'd get that for a 10. Yeah. I've been looking at those Mario things because I have such fond memories of playing Mario games, and my first year in Seattle, that was the first job I got, was working for Nintendo, and I was a game tester there for the first year I lived in Nintendo in Seattle.
So what do they do? Just like they give you a game and you play it, and then it's like market research of how good the game is and what you think.
I had to play Super Mario Sunshine for like 10 to 16 hours a day. Yeah.
Awesome.
I was one of the ones that if they said we want you to keep testing after the 8-hour period, they were like, you can have overtime, I would stay. And sometimes I literally played for 16 hours. And then, but they have mandatory, like Nintendo's really cool. If you can land a job there doing game testing, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Because every 2 hours, they give you a 15-minute break and they make you go outdoors. So you have to go, there's like a patio area outside and with trees. And I mean, it looks like you're in a park, so every 2 hours they have a timer going and the bell rings and they get everybody to stand up. You pause your game where you are, save it, whatever. And we all go outside and sit outside for 15 minutes and you're paid for the whole time. So it's just to save your eyes because they don't want your eyes going crazy from playing a game for 8 hours a day,
Wow.
So, but what's really funny is like you have to sign all these NDAs saying you won't talk about it because you're testing the game before it comes out. So they don't want you releasing anything to the public, right? Well, on one of the days when we were testing the game, like we get there's always a few people who after a day or two or a week, they go, this isn't for me. I'm out of here. I can't play a game this long. And they bring in some new people, and they told everybody, like, you can't talk about this. You can't even talk about it with your friends, family, anything, And we play for 2 hours. They put us on break. We walk out to the park. The very first thing the guy does is get on his cell phone, call his girlfriend up, and he's like, hey, we're playing Super Mario Sunshine, blah, blah, blah. And like the guy's like, our boss is like, what the hell, As soon as he hangs up the phone, he goes, you're fired, go home. And he's like, what? And he goes, what did we tell you? First thing you do is get on the phone and tell your girl. And he's like, oh crap, I wasn't even thinking, but they fired him. He had to go home. But it was like, he just said it. Like, what are you doing?
That's brilliant.
Sorry, honey, I'm not working on it anymore.
Yeah, right. Yeah, like what are you supposed to do?
Or if our size watching, he'll love them.
Yeah.
Picked up the mutant phrase at Dark Knight Returns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I picked up the Robin as well.
Yeah. Did you? Speaking of those DC Multiverse, like the big 6-7 inch figures from McFarlane, did you see the Clayface that's coming? If he's not out already, he's on his way. I was blown away by that figure. I was like, holy crap, he looks good.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
Same with Swamp Thing as well. The Swamp Thing looks...
oh, yeah, the Swamp Thing, yes. No, the Swamp Thing looks killer, yeah.
I'm going to try and get this Swamp Thing and Clayface, and I really want the King Shark as well.
Yeah.
I want the King Shark for the Suicide Squad.
Me too.
Oh,
I want a King Shark, yeah.
I thought you'd have one, John.
No, I didn't buy the Build-A-Figure ones because I didn't want the other figures. I just didn't want them. I only wanted the King Shark.
The Suicide Squad set that's come out, the Build-A-Figure, the only one I want is a Harley Quinn just to add to my Harley Quinn collection. That's it.
But I'm sure the Shark thing, Shark whatever, I don't know what it's called. It came out on its own as well. I think it was this year. It went out on its yeah.
So I just got to find that one.
I think the only thing different, Shabby, is the color of the shorts.
Yeah, they painted.
That's it. Yeah, I know there's something different, my friend. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a different paint job. Yeah. But Mark, I
know you're moving, Shabby, but if you managed to pick anything up.
No, not while I've been moving. No, I got a gift from Ireland from the lovely Connor. Sent me a gift, so I'll be opening that the next video. But no, I made a message video on my channel saying it's going to be about 10 days. Yeah, I've got to get the lights in. I've got to get everything sorted out. So, and if I bought figures or toys while I'm doing this, my wife would break my face. So there's no way I'm doing that. So. No.
Oh, sorry, I forgot. I ordered them before we moved, kind of thing. I forgot they were coming.
Yeah,
I did it yesterday, right? I was moving some furniture. Look, I'm all up my back, I grazed all my elbow, I was moving a piece, and I fell over a deck on a piece of wood, and I ran my back, and I winged it. Oh, my knee was bleeding, my back's all grazed. My wife just says, "Get up, you big girl." So
I broke a rib. I broke a rib helping a friend. I broke a rib helping one of my friends. My friend Sarah, she was moving out of her place in Seattle, and we were moving a couch, and I was on the bottom going down the stairs, and there was a turn, and the railing was there, and we slipped, and I got pinched between the railing and the couch, and the railing went right in under my rib and just went pop, snapped it. I was like, oh.
No. Well, that's the thing. It winded me like mad because this piece of wood stuck up like that. But I'm not a clumsy person, but I always fall over. I could trip over thin air. Do you know what I mean? I'm just one of those. I don't know what it is. I'm always on my backside. So.
No, I was just gonna say I went to Mark's channel and signed 18,000 subscribers. That's impressive. Mark,
you got 18,000 subscribers, Mark?
He does.
Hell. What, Power Ranger fans, eh? That's awesome, my friend. Well, it's nice to finally meet you. It's nice to meet you, my friend.
One Shabby's awesome.
Nice to meet you as well.
The thing is, though, I've got to admit, Si, it's I'm in my 40s, but it's like you think you can still do stuff. Do you know what I mean? So like I woke up this morning, bloody back hurting, and I'm like, what? It's like my mind's still in its 20s, but my body's in its 40s. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's just like my dad, Shabby. My dad will be 65 this year, and he still thinks he's a 21-year-old. He still thinks he can do things that he does.
That's what I mean. I mean, I've never been an ageist. I don't care. You know, I could be on someone who's 19, someone who's 90. Age is never. I don't celebrate birthdays. I'm never that bothered. So I think that's what it is because I don't think about that. You know, I'm old and this sort of stuff. Bloody hell, it's caught up with me, I tell you. My breakdancing days are over. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, so there'll be no more Shabby Friday dance.
Oh no, I'll still do them. I'll still do that, you know. But I haven't done that for a while either. It's funny because I put a poll out on Twitter. Should I retire Shabby Dance Fridays? And I think it was like 87% yes and 13% no. That means 13% no, eh? I see how it goes. You know what I mean? People just don't like dancing, I suppose.
If you can't do
the morning and checking their phones, and that you've got your video out. It cheers everybody up for the day, for the weekend. So we need it.
Yeah. I'll be back. I'll be back doing it. So,
yeah.
But it's funny because I had all my lights in myself and I had to get rid of all of them. They're only LED strips, but you can't reuse them, I suppose. Do you know what I mean? So they tangle up and all that. So I'll be down to for a while. Maybe I'll get one of them scoops. Maybe I'll get one.
So, Dave, did you pick anything new up this week?
Well, I just put a video out. I just got a load of Playmobil little figures.
Oh, neat.
Oh, awesome.
That's pretty cool.
Like the Zorro.
Wow.
I'm getting banging to Playmobil, Dave. Banging to it.
And then I put the other video up the other day was Terra like Minecrafty area.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
But he's big enough for like 6-7 inch figures as well. But he's like a Minecrafty size 4 or 5 inch figures. That's just the side of it. The big one's over there. So, but
Is that,
that's about
what
it.
is
With
that
a few other
from?
figures to go with that. That's about it. Thanks.
What is that from? Is it a custom thing or is it just something you found?
It's is it Terra? TERR?
Oh, Terraria or something. I know.
Yeah,
I know the
yeah.
game.
Oh, that
Very
one. Yeah.
similar to Minecraft.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
It's very, very similar to Minecraft. They've got eyeball skulls.
Yeah.
Very, very similar. Probably Mark can tell me more about it than anything because I know he plays Minecraft, and that's very similar to it. It's about 6 years old.
Going back to your Playmobil as well, I'm just fingers crossed because the Asterix lines. Have you seen the Asterix line that's coming out for Playmobil? Yeah. I'm just hoping, John, that it comes out in the States so we can get it because I know Asterix isn't big over here.
Yeah.
Do you see what I mean? So fingers crossed it comes out.
Still, you could go to the website and order it.
Yeah, I suppose I could.
So
in other words,
the only problem what's that? Go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to say, my friend, I can order it from the Playmobil website if it's not even available in America, and they'll get it over here.
I thought you could, but I'm not. Don't quote me, but I mean, I thought you could because I've seen sets on the Playmobil website that aren't available in any of the shops. So I'm guessing that I've always assumed that they put their whole catalog online, and that way you can order it even if you can't find it in the shops. You know,
because I saw 1,000 Ghost, and 1,000 Ghost said he was on the European based website for it for Playmobil.
Okay. So maybe
and that's when I saw the Asterix. I watched this show, and that was awesome. That was a great show.
Maybe there is two different. Yeah. Maybe there is.
Yeah.
I think the community would sort you out anyway. One of us in the UK
would get it anyway. Is watching Manga Fandango, and I know he'd get it for me, bless him. But it would be nice. But it's funny that I'll give you an example as well. I don't know whether you've all noticed as well, but ever since I've got into like getting I got the DeLorean for Playmobil, and Jen got me the Ghostbusters Firehouse, that kind of thing. But if you go online and you look for YouTube videos for Playmobil, there's barely no English speaking or no American ones at all. Yeah, it's really, really rare. There's only like 1 or 2 people that do it. And then ones are from years back. Few people did the Star Trek, the Enterprise and the A-Team, but I can't find an actual Playmobil American-based YouTube channel, if you will. So I thought that was a bit strange. Is it on big over here, John? No. Has it never has been, or? No,
not until this very recent, like I'd say the last 2 years.
Would you say the Back to the Future and Scooby Doo, that kind of thing?
They started getting the licenses, so it's been going up because of the licensed products. Yeah. Right,
got you.
But I know the company started in Germany, I think, if I can remember right.
Yeah, it's Germany. Germany. Because I always was under the firm belief, David, that Lego made Playmobil. I thought it was the same sort, it was like a one-off from there. Yeah. Because I know I don't know whether you know or not, there's a YouTuber called Jang Bricks, who's a huge Lego guy, and I don't collect Lego, but I like watching his channel because he does it very professionally and all that. And he used to do a Playmobil one, but he stopped doing it. So I always assumed that Lego was owned by them because of that, but it's not. Yeah, it's a different company altogether.
There's too much for each company to make each year.
Yeah.
They're two, literally, there are 2 massive big lines out there, Playmobil and Lego. The size of probably has.
I remember when I was in England, I found it everywhere. You know what I mean? But I wasn't collecting it then. But over here, John, I've noticed Walmart, Target don't really carry.
They reduced it too. It used to be that there was a whole like 8 feet of it at Walmart. Now it's reduced to like one shelf, if any at all, at some of them. So because the problem I think that happened was Walmart gave it a try, but they were doing it when it was only like the Bible ones and the animal ones. And now when Walmart decided, oh, well, they haven't been selling well. We tried it for a couple of years. But it's like, well, wait a minute here. Now they've got all the franchises. If you were to put that on the shelf, Star Trek, A-Team, Back to the Future, like if that whole section was all that stuff, I bet people would be buying it more. But
well, I'm going to admit, I fell across a big. Oh yeah, the Bond car. I fell over it because of that, John. I mean, I remember going to Walmart and they had the DeLorean, and it was on sale for $26 clearance, and I'd never. And I thought, well, I'll buy it for that. And then I brought it on, made a video of it, and I thought, wow, I would have paid $50 for this. It's fantastic. So that's what got me into it. But that was the only time I'd ever seen it in Walmart, just that one.
Yeah. Well, I got the Ghostbuster car, I think, when it went on clearance, and then I got the DeLorean, But
I got the Ghostbusters.
I want to get the 18 one.
18 band coming. There's a
I can't wait, but it's $90 at the moment over here, so it's a little bit pricey. I'd like the DB5, and the Knight Rider's coming in July. So we've all got. I think we're all going to get that, aren't we? Let's be honest. So,
perfect. It's kind of a bit like Lego, but they're quite expensive. But you get what you pay for as well, don't you?
Yeah, you do.
Well, you can tell by the licenses, because I think that's what it is. I think ever since they've taken over, they're trying to get licenses now. It's gone up. The $90 for a Playmobil. That never. If you've got like a camper from them or whatever, you're looking at $30. Do you see what I mean? So it's got to be the licenses. But it's the licenses they've got. I mean, regardless if you collect Playmobil or not, it's looking at what it is: the A-Team, Knight Rider, Scooby-Doo. It's all stuff that we love, basically. So I think it's a great idea. I
got some of the smaller sets of Scooby-Doo, but I never got the Mystery Machine. I got all the characters, but I got the small sets with the characters in them, but I didn't get the Mystery Machine, and I kind of want the Mystery Machine, and I missed it.
It's cool. Well, I think it's the same as the 18 van. It's the same, well, obviously different. You know what I mean? Painting different stuff, but it's a great. It's funny the amount of detail and stuff you get. It's like I said. I've always said to you lads before. I like toys. Do you know what I mean? Toys, not hot toys. They're awesome, but I like a proper. And I think Playmobil, you really do get value for what you've spent on it. It's fantastic.
And I got the outer space.
Before I forget, Mark, have you picked anything new up as well?
Me? Apart from Power Rangers, it's all under the bed now. Give me 2 secs. I'll pick up what toys I have around. So give me 2 seconds, and I'll go to the toilet.
I don't want to leave you. I'll ask everybody else. I'll ask John as well.
Bear with me.
Well, like I said, what I picked up this week was the bat, and that's it really so far.
Did you get it online, or did you get it in the stores?
Target. I found it on the shelf at Target the other day. Yeah, and because I didn't pre-order it, I couldn't get it. It was not. It was already gone by the time I went on, so I never got a chance to order this bat figure. And I figured because everybody else was getting it, G4, Sean, Vern, like everybody had gotten it already, and people were finding it around the country, that I was like, well, it's going to be one of those things that I just don't see in South Florida, like Bib Fortuna Black Series. There's still
one of the first countries to get it as well, ain't they?
Yeah,
it's crazy.
So I just wrote it off as a figure I'd never get. Oh, but Bastille Shan.
Bastille Shan.
Yeah, love that figure.
I have that figure on the Black Series, the orange and black line. Remember that, the 3/4 inch. So yeah, it's an awesome figure.
I just had to turn around and it's like, oh, I forgot to show Shabby that because I was keeping that for.
I know for a fact, John, our friend in America right now, who's on a trip. He's on a 7-day trip in America, and he's been round 2 Walmarts and a couple of Targets, and there's nothing on the shelf whatsoever. You're up in Orlando. But
David, my
absolutely
last 10 Black Series, David, I've come from our Simon in England. He's walked into Smith's and found them. It's easy as that. Eb sent me one from Scotland, that kind of thing. But my last 10, that's how rare they are over here. Lando, I think, and that was it really, wasn't it, John, for the past couple of months?
Yeah. Well, Hasbro Pulse finally put up another run of the Walrus Man and Dr. Evazan, so I got those two off Hasbro Pulse, but they didn't put Bib Fortuna back up. So I was like, crap, what the crap? You know, like they put the other two. So I was happy to get Walrus Man and Dr. Evazan. They're going to hopefully ship soon. They had them in stock.
Yeah.
But they didn't have Bib Fortuna, so I'm like, where am I going to get this Bib Fortuna? I have no idea. But I thought that way about the bat. I thought my chance was gone, and I'm just not going to get him. So I wrote it off as, you know, a figure I'm just not going to have. I was like, whatever, who cares, you know? And then
that's why I stopped collecting G.I. Joe, John. That's why
I walked in the store, and there was one on the shelf. It just blew my mind. I'm looking at it, going, "Is that really there? Am I really seeing this? You know, like, am I dreaming? I'm pitching myself, you know?" And I pick it up, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, "Yeah, it's a bat. It really is." I go up to the register, buy the thing.
I've just seen this comment, Shabby, man. Size should actually do that. Just dress up as you and see how many folk actually think it is.
I think it should change the word punch to the word kiss. That's what I think.
Right. Yeah, there you go.
Shabby, if you want to see completely different stuff you've probably never seen before,
let's have a look.
Mark's about to show something off that you'll be saying, "What's that?"
Well, I don't know if you'll be saying it. This is one thing I've had in my room.
I'll put you on there.
So
what is that?
So
that's awesome.
So that's one of the things I collect, which is Figma. I've got this bad boy, which has been under thingy. So a Kamen Rider, which is the same thing like Master Rider.
Yeah.
Right, Mark. So where do you get these from then, Mark? Because I've never seen anything like this.
I will send links in a second, but this is the newest thing that I've got, which is
I'll put you back on the big screen.
Webcams.
Oh, nice.
Is that some kind of remote control?
It's not. It's a really cool thing. I'll show you. So it is basically this, which is an item that you need if you're a Power Ranger fan or Super Sentai, and you get little Power Ranger keys or Super Sentai keys for these ones, and then you basically pop in, and it does sounds, but it's turned off at the moment. And it's basically a 10-year reunion of one of Toei's biggest franchises, which is the Super Sentai of Gokaiger, and it was a pretty penny, but it goes with my massive collection that I've got upstairs in the attic, which is tons of these Ranger keys, because there's loads of them. So if you're into, like, say, back in the day of Super Sentai with Bioman, Flashman, Maskman, all that sort of stuff, there's like tons of it. But to answer your question on where, it depends on what it is, because one website that I used to go to completely sold out, like shut down, like they literally took people's money and like ran off. I was like, I was really kind of gutted that they did it, because they were really, really good company. But from what I heard, Nippon Yasan.
What's going on in the chat there?
Oh, you've got
I've just seen it.
Yeah, I have no idea what they're saying.
No, I don't either.
But if you're looking, it depends. If you're looking for that one, I think there's one called.
Was that an SH Figure Arts one though? Right?
It was. It came out. It came out years ago, and it's Kamen Rider DX Black, but it's basically what Master Rider was in the UK, or in basically the American one. So I love that one because I loved Master Rider when I was younger. So as soon as they were like, "Oh yeah, we've got a figure art version of this," I was like, "I'm buying it." Like, they're tell me how much, and I will. I'll put my money down. But they only make them for so often which is a bit of a pain because I thought that they did a lot more of them. Let me grab that address.
You probably own all the shows, but did you know that they're all up on the Tubi app? The streaming app? All the Super Sentai, Mass Rider, Kamen Rider, like.
I had heard that they were,
Yeah.
but I think some of them I've kind of stopped kind of watching because I only came into Super Sentai around about Gokaija because it was like, hey, it's like 35 years worth of like Super Sentai, so I kind of caught up on that one. And there's only been like one or two that I've kind of watched or kind of started, but the only one I've been watching is Zenkaija, which it's up and down. They massively dropped the ball, but it goes through the same gimmicks as what these were, but they turn them into like gears, which is it's not too bad, but it's not as cool as a key. So let me put into the chat into a site that I've just started going to, but I don't know if they're any good yet. So it's a hit and miss thing, but they do a lot of the they do a lot of stuff from Japan. So you'd order your item, which one it is. So if you're looking for Figma, Fig Arts, and they're good. Like if you're collecting, they're great. If you're collecting to sell later, even better because they will literally do a limited run. So like that one, the one in the pink box, I bought that a while ago. So that will just go up in value. Because once they cut them off, that's it. So so Dave mentioned earlier that I collect Kankoli. So there's one figure that I bought and it just skyrocketed in price. So if you have the entire collection, it's worth a lot more than what you physically paid for. So I normally buy it for myself. But then if I can't finish the line, or if they turn around and say, oh, hey, we're not continuing this anymore, I will just literally just go, I don't care about this anymore, which is a big shame, but it's annoying habit that I have. It's the same as like if the figures are always that bad and I bought a load of them. It annoys me.
I don't know much about it. Simon, who's watching Manga Fandango, he collects Monsieur Bond figures and he's had them for years. And he's got a whole line of them, and they're worth a lot of money. And I've always admired it, but I know nothing about it. So,
it has to be certain ones that you look for. So, like, say for example, if you pick one up for 30, and it may not do that well. So it's mainly what is like. So with Figma, it's what the most popular anime is. So you've got stuff like My Hero Academia. You've got RE0. There's one that I've just started watching called Konosuba. And that's really fun. But when I was trying to look for one of the characters, I couldn't find it. I was just like, so it's been taken off the list. So which means it's going to be a lot harder to find on the secondhand market. But the problem is like they will up the price. So jumping back to Kankoli, they've just released a brand new line where I think they're starting through. It could be season 2. It could be just alternative costumes. Where Nippon Yasan, the place that I bought mine from, they were like, oh yeah, it's like 80 quid. I was like, okay, that's really reasonable for a price. Then they went off. So I was like, where can I find one? 200 quid, brand new. And I was just like,
wow.
I do not. So like my lowest, I think I spent around about 140, 120. And I was like, that's the maximum I would go, as much as I love this brand. So some are good, some are bad. Genshin Impact, which is a very a popular game that I play, they're just releasing a toy line, so I know exactly they will be ridiculously hard to pick up once they sell out.
Right, there's one figure that I want to get, and Mark will know the series. Is it Kill la Kill? I would love to have
Kill la Kill.
One of those in the collection, but they're expensive.
Let me see if I can find one for you.
There you go. Yeah, but Baz is only going to pay 50p for it. Remember, it is Baz. You know what I mean?
Well,
Post is here. Let me get the boxes.
Well, if this is the Figma one that they've released out, I've got to figure out, because the thing is, like, when you look at these sorts of things, you have to look at the joints because they do statues. So I've just found one here. I'm like, oh my god, like 3,000 yen for this really rare figure. I'm like, nah, that's got to be something. And I was correct. It was a statue. I hate statue figures.
Or build your own figures is the other one, isn't it, Mark? They do a load of like mini player and that sort of stuff. It's crazy.
Yeah, the Minipla ones for the Super Sentai range, they're not too bad. So before I go on to that one, so Baz, you know Satsuki?
Yes.
Right. So she is 13,990 yen.
Whoa!
So let me just quickly
I get that. My daughter's called Suki. Might just get it for her. So
if you were to buy, we're going to find out now. But 90 quid.
Yeah.
But the thing is, with these Figma, they're premium figures. I've never had a no scratch that. I've had only one bad one in the entire line. Like when I bent the arm, it snapped off, and I was just like, but I will give it out. It was annoying. But the thing is, if you contact the main company and you go, hey, this is my figure, this is my receipt, this is when I bought it, this is when I do it, they'll send a replacement part for you.
Oh, that's cool. That's all right. Yeah.
So because they're that good, I had like figures for like years old, and I was just like, this is wrong. This like the paint's missing. They'll send the complete part out, so it won't just be like, oh, here's an arm. If like you have like the main body and it's scratched, it's defective or whatever, you contact them. They'll send that part out to you straight away.
Wow, because even Hasbro didn't do that with the Sentinel. A lot of people had issues with the Sentinel, so we'll just give you a refund. They weren't, you know what I mean?
Really?
Send it back.
With the new Marvel Legend series, there's, I think it's the one that come with the Carnage Spider-Man or something. There's somebody tried to move the neck joint, and basically the chest actually popped off, broke.
Yeah.
And seemingly you've got, as long as you've got proof of purchase, receipt, whatever box, they'll send you a replacement for it.
Right.
But you're not guaranteed to get the figure that you ordered, though. That's the only thing. So if you ordered the new Captain America, you might get a Spider-Man instead, kind of thing. So
that's true. That happens sometimes. Yeah.
The best one for me for that was GameStop. I remember getting the Shadow Trooper from GameStop, and the box was a little bit bent in it. So I messaged them and said, "Can I exchange it?" And they said, "Keep that. We'll send you another one." And they did. So I thought that was pretty impressive. So GameStop were awesome for that.
I'd say some companies out there will hand over fist to help you. Anyone.
Yeah.
And some companies won't even batten an eyelid.
No chance. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, so crazy. Mark, is it Bandai that still makes them figures, the SH Fig Arts?
Yeah, Bandai still makes SH Fig Arts. They won't send out any free parts, which is a pain in the ass. They're also really expensive figures. Like if you're buying the Bandai premium stuff, that's when you get more bang for your buck. But majority of the time is most of the fig arts I don't think are even worth it these days, because you're paying like super high prices for a figure that will have the same body as whatever one. But it also depends on which one you go for. So if you went for, say, Ultraman, then they may be a lot cheaper than, say, to like Dragon Ball Z or something like that. But like one thing I absolutely hate are small figures. You're paying like full price figure for like one that's like half the size, and I'm just like, nah, that to me is just nah. But they're not too bad. They do go up in value as well. Not quickly, but it's more kind of, you have to kind of wait. And if people do want them, so it's a game of, if you want to buy to sell, you may as well keep them for like 5 years and then bring them out and go, hey, this is a figure that I've had. Do you want to buy it? And then you're quite lucky to pick up some. So it roughly depends on what you want to do with them. But they do look really nice when posed. I will give them that. So
yeah,
I quite like it. So I put in the chat the two places that I'm kind of like. The first place, Nin game, still testing out. So I don't know, but Good Smile Company is the place where you can buy Figma. Only problem is customs charges. They ship out with the EMS and they'll put the full price of the figure, so you're guaranteed that lucky customs charge. And I hate custom charges. I hate them. But but with those ones, if you do buy from them, they will give you a window and they'll say you have 1 month to pre-order this. If you don't, then we're not selling it ever again. So that's when you go to like Nin or you go to wherever. but there are some good ones. It's the Figma range. So they've currently got 3 figures coming out this year that have already been planned. But last year, I think they had like ages. But there is on their website, if you click on one, there's a partner place that will tell you all around the world where you can pick one up. So it could be possibly cheaper. But that's all I really know.
Awesome.
See, I've always been.
Aren't they, Mark, as well?
Yeah. Let me just double check on that. So they're all different. Yay and nay. Some do change. Yeah. So if there's smaller characters, so they've got one called Figma Saber Nero Claudius Bride, which looks really, really nice. Won't lie. Kind of tempted on it. Does it give you any information?
Unless you can read Japanese.
Oh, it's all in English. It doesn't actually give you an approximate one, but basically they'll try and keep them to the same size as what the character is in the anime or whatever they're making. They make they're so weird, right? Hang on, let me find a really weird one. So you kind of think, oh, I really want to collect some really unique toys, like something. I really want Tutankhamun. Why do I want the Tutankhamun action figure? It is there. You can get it. I'm not even lying. Like if I share the link, you can literally see what they're doing. They make really random stuff. I have no idea. Like someone wakes up in the board meeting and goes, "Greg, I really think we should go Tutankhamun. Are you in on this?" Yes. I've been waiting.
Feel all Egyptian today, Greg. Do you know what I mean? That's awesome.
I've been watching so much stuff. I know it. Let's make Tutankhamun. They did. Was it the? The David? Is it Da Vinci? Whatever. And it's the body of the guy that has like arms out there, arms down there, and arms up. They have that. Like, who thinks? Oh, I really need that in my collection.
But it's fully articulated and fully posable. The whole lot. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's almost like shabby. They're almost like hot toy versions. It's that power of detail and sculpt on them.
Let me go get.
Too small. What scale are they roughly, Mark? About 6 inch.
I will show you. Give me 2 seconds. I know I've got one open, so bear with me. I'll go find it.
So this came from my friend Sam in your neck of the woods here. He's in Sheffield. In Sheffield.
Sheffield. Yeah.
Sam and I go way back. We've been helping each other out for like years, but we've never. I mean, because we're on different sides of the pond, we've never had a chance to meet in person. But he's thanks for backing. Yeah. But his comics and stuff finally came, and he threw in some extra stuff here, so that's cool.
Cool.
So the Geek Girl comic that he does.
Oh, nice.
Whoa.
That's pretty cool.
Really good stuff.
What, your friend Sam actually makes that comic, John? Is that what you're saying?
Sam Johnson here. Sam Johnson, yeah.
Cool.
He's been on and he usually comes on once a year or so to give an update. Like he's been on the podcast a million times. He was on live with us a couple times.
John, does that come out in Sheffield, UK then, or UK comics or something?
Yeah. It's Marcosia Comics. Look for that symbol.
Okay,
yeah. But he threw some prints in too. Pretty cool prints.
Whoa.
That's pretty cool.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Almost like Wonder Woman, isn't it?
Yeah, she's actually in the Wonder Woman costume. Yeah, she.
And what does your friend Sam actually do? Does he illustrate, John, or does he write it? What does he do?
He's mostly the writer. He's got an illustrator. Carlos Granda is the illustrator. Sorry. So, and awesome. Carlos, I want to say he's like in Argentina or something. I don't.
Oh yeah.
They're not near each other. He found Carlos somewhere online as like an artist for hire. You know what I mean? And they've been working together for a long time. But
the comic is actually UK based, though, John.
Yeah. Hertfordshire. So Marcosia's in Hertfordshire.
Hertfordshire, John. Hertfordshire. That's what it's called.
Okay, whatever.
Hertfordshire. Brilliant.
It's a shire, it says. Come on.
Shire, brilliant. Yeah. Elcon.
Yeah, so that's where they are.
Fantastic.
That's
Harry Marcos runs the company of Marcosia. Okay. Harry Marcos runs the company of Marcosia. Oh, that looks cool, Mark. That looks
so it's
really
probably
nice.
about 6 inches, isn't it? That
yeah, you can get massive. You can get massive ones. So like, so that one. Where am I? So she's not really. You can't really see that well, but she is quite a normal sized, like standard figure.
At least you get a load of accessories and a load of pots with them, like 5-6 sets of hands, don't you? And all sorts.
Oh, you get like tons of hands. Like if there's a hand doing like that, you will get a hand doing that. So,
Mark, if you don't mind me asking, how did you get into all this, Mark? Because obviously, England's not known for its massive, anime thing. So how did you get into all this?
So with the figures, when I was at university, I was studying film. So when I was watching stop motion animation, I was like, oh my God, I really want to do this. So I was looking for toys that would do it. So sometimes I'd see stuff like some people using like fig arts or whatnot. And then I found Cancoli, and that was, I basically searched anime girls with guns and stuff like that.
Right.
And then Cancoli like popped up, and then they had like blasters, like, because basically they're based on an anime about battleships. So you'll have like planes, you'll have war destroyers, you'll have like escort ships and stuff. So I kind of looked into it. I was like, oh, that looks really kind of awesome. So I found Ami Ami, and then I started buying like all these figures up, and I was like, okay. And then I kind of got into collecting them. I was like, well, if I'm going to collect Cancoli, I want to make sure that I get every single one that comes out. It was a mistake because, dear God, there are so many. But because they only base it on the anime, they won't like release a really random one. So I started collecting a few of those, and then what else they did? They just started doing anime ones. So because I was so trigger happy, I was like, I'll buy. So I bought like tons over the years. Really enjoyed like some of them. Got rid of quite a few because I was like, I can't really afford this. And so I'd sell one later on to pay for like another one, or I would just literally keep them, hoard them for a while, and then I'd sell them at some other place. So I just started collecting them that way. And then ever since then, it was like, well, fig arts are all right, but I kind of prefer these because they do more of like the anime-esque things. They'll do like better accessories. Like if a fig arts would do that, a figure would just do that. So it moved a lot better in my eyes. So I was like, you know what, I'll keep buying them all. And then other ones started coming out. I don't think I've completed a set. I don't think they've actually finished one, because they don't come out like, oh, this is the next one coming out. It'll be like, oh, 6-7 months later, then we'll release the next one. So it got really tedious after a while. And then obviously when I lost jobs and when I was hired for new jobs, I'd still collect. I think I told Dave once, I was like, Dave, I've got like £1,000 pre-order going on. What the hell am I going to do? Yeah, like that. I had so many in like kind of my in my inventory type thing I was going to buy. Like it just became too expensive. So when like obviously when Nippon's gone, pretty much all those orders are completely like I don't need to pay for them. But now it's finding them is a lot harder because a lot of prices will put them up. But I'm just going to see which ones I went for, because I started reviewing them for my channel. And I just literally just like, I'm going to buy them. But each time I got really kind of bored with like certain ones. So I'd leave them stacked up for ages, or I'd put them in under my bed or in the attic, and I would just leave them. So like with Cancoli right now, they've just they're re-releasing them, or it'll be like brand new costumes. So that's going to be expensive as hell. Luckily I never got into the extra pieces, like the special promotional parts. So like Good Smile, what they'll do is they'll release this figure and say, if you buy it from us, we'll give you a brand new face that's only limited to us. And I was like, really? Guys, seriously? The cute anime face that I love so much? Why?
Sorry, I'm just switch everybody's link. Everybody can
Okay.
So when that sort of stuff happened, I kind of got really, I didn't buy into it that much, and I'm just seeing how many I've reviewed. So there's got to be quite a few because I haven't done it for a while.
Hey,
so
Vadertron Toy Chest, I just subbed to you.
So I collected around about 50. I've got 59 reviewed on the channel, but it went stuff from like Legend of Zelda, Skyward Sword, Iron Man, Guyver,
that's cool.
Sword Art Online. Then it was Yu-Gi-Oh, Ghost in the Shell, Overwatch. I really got in. I was going to collect all of Overwatch, but then since what Blizzard and Activision have done quite recently, I was like, I don't particularly want these anymore. So one or two were goodly sold, which I was quite happy with. So then there was like their own versions, like they did the Bride, more Kenkoli, more Yu-Gi-Oh, one which was Arms Girl. So that became a good thing. Konosuba, which I was really into now. But yeah, like they've done so many that I've collected over the years. Even just having a look now, like My Hero Academia, and that's it. Like I got into them, but Figma too.
Do they do see my side of anime? Like, I mean, I've watched some shows. Like, I enjoyed. Maybe I'm old school, but I enjoy Battle Angel. I enjoyed the earlier Ghost in the Shell stuff. I don't know the stuff that's coming out lately. I just haven't been into. But
my kids are into what is it? Attack on Titan. That's what Suki loves.
See, I'm not into that either. But
and I don't know whether.
I enjoyed Bleach a little bit. My friend and I went through Bleach a little bit, but it eventually went on way too long for me to even be able to follow. I was like,
there was I've done a couple of furniture pieces of it. I don't know whether that Arcane was anime that just came out, but Suki got me the Jinx.
So it's so it's pretty cool though.
That's League of Legends.
It was the first. And I don't know whether you all watched that show. I fell in love with it. I thought it was one of the best animated shows that come out in years. Oh, it was superb. So Suki got me that for Christmas, bless her. So I am interested in it. But my kids are. I think it's. I don't know. Maybe it missed our generation, if you will, and went from the generation. What do you think, John?
I enjoyed. I was gonna say, like, the stuff that I really enjoyed was the Cowboy Bebop, the Trigun. I love Trigun. Trigun and Cowboy Bebop are my two favorite animes.
That's our size favorite, Cowboy Bebop. Yeah.
As far as series anime, it's Cowboy Bebop and Trigun. But I did get into Bleach, which is I would consider more of a modern one. But
so did you like the Cowboy Bebop live animes then? Because I enjoyed it, but I'm not a Cowboy Bebop animation.
I haven't finished it. I'm about halfway through. I haven't finished it, but I enjoyed what I've seen so far. I just thought the fight scenes are a little slow. They were choreographed slow, but I understand that I hope that they were going for a Batman 66 kind of look. They were trying to choreograph it. I
thought Arsai was going to love it because Simon's been telling me for 20 years to watch Cowboy Bebop. You've got to watch it. You've got to watch it. So I watched the first 3 episodes and I loved them. I thought, now I understand what he's talking about. Yeah, this is really good. Well, I didn't go back to it. Watched the live action series, and the first 2 episodes were basically from the animation. So I thought, Arsai's going to love this. And Arsai hated it. He said it's just nothing like Cowboy Bebop at all. He said they've changed just too much stuff. So
it's.
But I was going to say my thing with anime is I love giant robots. So I like Gai King. I like Dangaio. I like Godaiken and all that. Yeah. But those are the things that I never see figures for. I'm like, why can't I get a giant Gai King robot? Like, come on, or a Dangaio,
I'm like, yellow head on it, wasn't it, on the chest?
Yeah.
They did. The biggest one they did for that, John, was the Shogun Warriors back in the 80s.
Yeah, I love the Shogun Warriors.
The big one. I know for a fact that Japan somewhere released a small version about Say Big for that series, which, like in the TV, the cartoon, it came off the head, the body came out, and the whole lot like transformed like it did in the show.
Wow. Yeah.
But it's always like 200-300 quid when it came out.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I don't think we get them here in the States, and when I do see them, they're hundreds of dollars. And yeah. Like Tez was saying, the Lensman. I liked the Lensman also, but that was that's the Lensman has a place in my heart because of Star Wars. Because like if you read the book from the 60s, that Lensman was a series of books in the 1960s. And it's absolutely 100% the story of Star Wars, Empire, and Return of the Jedi. Yeah. So it's like you can, and it was done from like 1963 to like 69 or something. So you can clearly see that George, I mean, even the robots are the same. It's a tall one that looks like C-3PO and a short one with a dome with 2 legs, but it has arms that stick out like Chopper, Yeah. So I'm like, and the last Lensman, the kid was living on a farm, and it turns out his dad is the emperor of the universe, and it's like, who's the evil emperor, of course, and I'm like, and he meets an old guy who's the last Lensman, and he teaches him about the lens and stuff, and in their thing, the lens is the Force, and eventually, the emperor kills him. What?
I've actually watched the anime.
Yeah. They made an anime. They made an anime of it in like the late 70s, early 80s, or something.
The way you just described it, it was like, I need to watch that again because what you just said is actually true. It's basically like Star Wars, but anime.
Yeah, but it's pretty clear that George, even if he doesn't acknowledge it, it's like it's almost like he read the Lensman books and just changed the names of the characters and made a screenplay. And it's like, because it really is exactly the same.
He's not called David, he's called Darren. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah. Scuba Pete.
Sorry, Scuba. Hey.
Hello. So, I've just had a quick look. Like, I think they did like Figma or Good Smart Company. I think they did like they did Technoman. But I think that they do them, but there's nothing big for them at the moment. So if that anime comes along, like, and it's more like they bring it out, that's when they'll go, right, figures. But because there hasn't been big animes, I have seen giant robos around though. Yeah. So it would be something like, I think that's more of a premium Bandai one. Yeah. So you'd be looking at fig arts. So I'll keep having a look. But I know that they did like some of the old robos, and obviously with Super Sentai being a thing, they should bring out some more stuff over time. They did.
I even liked more, like recent ones, what I consider recent. I enjoyed the Samurai 7 anime series where they had the giant robots attacking the village, and it was a take on Akira Kurosawa's, Seven Samurai, but it was with giant robots and like a bunch of rogue samurai guys who were taking these giant robots down, and it was yeah.
See, that does sound pretty cool.
Hi, Scuba.
How are you?
Yeah, not too bad, dude. How are you?
Doing well.
Scuba Pete, all this anime talk, mate. What about all this?
I know. I'm learning as I listen.
yeah. Do you got any anime, Scuba? Do you get into any of that?
No, not none. Zilch. But I'm open to learn.
Yeah,
Samurai Pizza Cats. Yes, I remember that now. I was like, where do I remember this from? And I'm like, yes, Samurai Pizza Cats. Yeah.
Little known fact: if you watch the Japanese version and then you watch the English version is better than the Japanese version. And even I think the creators have turned around and gone, yeah, we couldn't even do what you guys did because it's all parody. There's also another anime called Ghost Stories, and if you watch the Japanese, again, they were like, the Americans have done an amazing job on this one. So I would watch those two if you can, which is very, very rare for like any company to turn around and go, yeah, the dubbed version far superior to the original one. But it's all parody, which is all good. We all love a bit of parody.
Yeah. Talking about old Power Rangers stuff, I just found it next to me, but it's old Sentai before Power Rangers.
Wow.
It's still got the robots in and that sort of stuff.
Yeah,
but
there you go.
That is cool.
Oh yeah, that is cool.
that's like pre Power Rangers over here. It's like Sentai, that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
If you want to go old school, but you know.
Nice.
I like their style of packaging. That's the way they
Yeah.
did that stuff.
That's how they used to do like die-cast figures as well.
Yeah.
You know, and that's how they do the packaging. And I think the only problem is you get the card flaps.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like today, you know, you still get the card flap and that sort of stuff. And that's 1989.
Oh, it's
Awesome.
an 89. Yeah. Okay.
I'm looking at the condition of it. Brilliant.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good looking.
Sorry, Dave's probably got a portal to the past. He can just put his hand in and grab something out.
Right? Yeah.
Always something different.
Hey, Scooby, a bit like your video with that Wind Raider.
Oh yeah, where Chris and I passed it back and forth.
Yeah.
If you wanted to, you could make us. If Baz has got his handy, you can almost do like a.
Sut. You won't know what that is, will you, Scooby, old John? That's Sooty.
That's sweet.
Sooty?
I don't even know.
Oh, Sweep, sorry, that's right. Cheers, Mark. Mark's exactly right. It was a TV show from years ago.
Yes.
Sooty, Sweep, and Sue with Matthew.
Huh.
And little cousin Scampy too.
And Scamp, yeah, bloody hell, yeah.
Because it's so like drilled into you. It's like when you say, even if you say Sooty, Sweep, and Sue, and you go and little cousin Scampy too. It's just
kind of funny,
embedded.
because I found him inside it.
That's Sooty. Hang on, this is my one.
It's when Sue
And
comes
then-
out.
Yeah.
Let's see. Now, I haven't got Sooty and Sweep, but I have got. Hang on. Oh!
Bert.
Oh, hey, Bert. Hi, Bert.
Hey, Bert.
Have
Have
I
you
don't
seen
even
my
have
rubber
anything.
ducky, Bert? I seem to have lost
It was
my
actually
rubber ducky, Bert.
When I was at the charity shop the day, I would have picked up, but this was really badly beaten, and because it was made of rubber, it was all deteriorated. But remember, you know the pepperoni,
Yeah.
like the snack pepperoni. I didn't know they actually made a toy of that.
Pepperonis.
Yeah.
Hi.
Oh,
like
yeah,
pepperoni. You know where you get like the pepperoni, but the sticks.
Yeah.
They actually made an actual toy of the pepperoni.
What?
I would have picked it up, but it was this thing. It was 40 part. It was 40 bits. But man, it's the first time I've ever seen something like that.
You know, if that pepperoni figure gets really old, you just call it jerky.
Jake, exactly. It's a win-win. Easy as that. Did anybody see the new Fraggle Rock show on Apple TV yet?
Down at Fraggle Rock.
I have not yet.
Down at Fraggle Rock.
Fraggle Rock, Back to the Rock. So it's more or less the same type of thing. But remember I forgot what they were called. Not the dozers. The dozers were the little ones, weren't they? But the big.
Oh,
What
yeah,
they
that
call?
we're trying to catch the Fraggles.
Exactly.
Ooh,
Well,
a
you want to see the animation now on the faces. It's exactly the same, but the way they can move now, it's unbelievable. So it looks really good.
I'll check it out.
Dave's got.
I remember the Snorks too. Do you remember the Snorks?
Oh, Snorks were good.
Super Ted.
Smurfs
Super Ted.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
It's
Oh,
just like
wow.
you just shredded his skin off.
Yeah,
Really,
you're
it's just
ripping
gone.
him.
Ruh.
Filleted the teddy bear.
Yeah, very good. Yeah.
They actually turned around and said, like, they brought out, like, you know, in the is it the TV is like, and Spotty whispers his special secret word or whatever it was, and no one ever knew what it was. That was what it was. It was his when he says his special word. That was it. I'm like, so easy enough, isn't it? When you're a kid, it's just like,
After
what
all
is
these years. Hi, Jonathan.
Hey, Jonathan.
Gozers.
What's up,
Yeah.
dude?
Hee-haw, Kermity Frog here.
So can I just do a bit of advertising if that's all right?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, go for it.
Tomorrow on USR we have Jules Burt on.
So who's that? Who's that?
Oh, Jules Burt, he's got a lovely channel in England. He's a really, really nice fella. And you want to see his collection of card-back Star Wars. It's unbelievable. But he also collects old books, like Puffin books, Penguin books, this kind of thing. Well, he has a YouTube channel, Jules Burt. And honestly, wait till you see him on our show tomorrow. He's one of the nicest fellas in the community. He really is. So I've followed Jules Burt for years. So I'm really happy that Matt and Tez got him on. So that's going to be great talking to him tomorrow.
And those old books are cool. I mean, like, he's got so many of those old sci-fi books with the really cool looking covers and everything.
And how the condition of them as well.
Oh,
yeah.
The artwork on those covers is something else. Yeah.
So it's going to be good talking to him tomorrow. So if you can all come along and watch, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, we're in the chat.
Oh yeah.
Awesome.
Is it your 41st live stream or something now?
What do you want? 42 or 43?
42 already. 42,
Yeah,
man.
damn.
Oh, great. I mean, it's nice. I mean, they're doing it with, well, two lads like Matt and says you can't not have a good time. Do you know what I mean? But most of you have been on, and I think you've all been on except for Mark, haven't you? So yeah, it's a good show. So tomorrow's will be good. So and like I said, so it's been a busy week. Retro blasting yesterday, this today, that tomorrow. Bloody hell, my wife's going to throw me out. I'm not going to get any work done.
7 days a week.
It's all right, Shabby. Never missed the Friday night live stream.
Yeah, I'll just miss tomorrow. Who cares about that? Oh, and I'm 2 subs off Simon's Joker giveaway, the big artwork Joker giveaway.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. It's all I mean, so.
And you're
That
already
is just
7
crazy,
hours.
that Joker. That is unbelievable, Shab.
Yeah, his artwork is ridiculous, and he's not giving the print away. He's giving me the actual one. Well, I'll show you what's about size work.
I think it's dangerous for marking the channel. You might.
Let's have a look. I'll show you a piece of our size work. This is a good one. Right there. That's not bad.
That's pretty cool.
Scuba Peter's G.I. Joe.
I love it. I can't wait to display that. So
That's cool. Yeah.
Thank you again, Sai. You're still in the. I know he was in the chat earlier.
Yeah.
And he's got a
Sorry,
Batman. He's got a Batman comic page for me.
Got a comic page for John. Yeah, he's done a few things. He did Natalie from Forces of Light. He's done Chris something. It's nice that he does that. To have that talent and to share his wealth. I think it's awesome.
Is that at your place yet? The Batman art, by the way?
No, next week it's coming. Oh, that's got to go to our side. Well, there's loads of boxes and stuff down here that's got to go to our side.
3 more coming. I get 3 boxes coming to you. So
yeah,
2 of them are for Sai.
That's right.
And
Yeah.
I marked on the box. It says for Sai, so you'll know which ones are for Sai.
What?
So Sai stuff for your auction is coming to me as well.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll just keep it, John. Oh, thanks, Sai. Oh, brilliant.
Scoob, did you get anything this week? Scoob.
Actually, I got a nice care package from Chris Miwa in the Netherlands.
Oh, nice.
Co-hosts of Chasing 80s Toys. Well, he had a few Action Force bits, and he's kind of like reimagining his collection and how it's displayed. And so he said, you know what? I'm going to send what little Action Force he had to me. So how about that?
Wow.
I like that. That is awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So good.
That's really like your backdrop. I like your shelves and toys.
Thanks.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he sent.
So is that the same? Is that the same mold as the GI Joe one then?
No,
it's completely Palatoy Action Force there before GI Joe was brought into the picture.
Different figures. I think the figures Shab are like Star Wars, straight arms, straight legs.
That's right, my friend. Yeah. I know the figures because I had the figures, But I remember some of the vehicles are the same as G.I. Joe ones, aren't they, Pete? So
Yeah. Yep, but this one is solely Palatoy, and then these are just
Super Death
Baron Ironblood.
Yeah.
He's hat as well.
Black Major.
Yeah, Red Shadow figure.
I've got the Black
Brilliant.
Major, but I wouldn't mind
Nice
Ironblood. He'd be cool to
SAS
have.
patrol boat.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was a very nice surprise.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Scoob, just for Mark, what do you actually collect behind you? Because Mark said that's a really good display behind you. What do you actually collect again, Scoob?
I am Star Wars, G.I. Joe, Master of the Universe. Now heavily Action Forces coming on strong. Old school sci-fi like Battlestar Galactica, Buck Rogers.
Yeah.
I'm a sucker for. You stick it in space and it was 70s, 80s. I'm like,
Yeah.
It looks really cool. I do like the way you've got it set up. It's very kind of, it draws you in. I kind of like that.
Yeah, thanks. This is our downstairs living room, and yeah, I come down here, fire up the lights, and been watching a little YouTube, of course. Just chilling.
See, Mark, you can always tell that Scooby's in America when he says things like downstairs living room. Do you know?
Yeah.
I was just thinking.
Scooby Pete's got 6 living rooms. Do you know what I mean? So it's the downstairs one.
We have 2.
You don't. Basements aren't a thing in England, right? It's not really a.
No.
Well, of course, some
Not
people
that much.
live in the basement flat, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless it's a really, really old building, we don't get basements at all. Unless it's really, really old over here.
I always imagine that, like, you can always tell with American houses because it just has that, like, the presence. Like, when I saw it, it's like, yeah, that's downstairs somewhere, isn't it? And it'll be somewhere special. I was just like, that does look nice. You can always tell.
I'll take. I think. Here we go. So over there's the Lego table, pinball machine, Masters of the Universe cabinet way over on the far side.
I'm on the big screen.
Yeah, there you go.
No, fish tank, of course.
So when you say downstairs living room, you mean downstairs flat, right?
Basically.
Downstairs
basically,
apartment.
Mark.
Yeah. We got the aquarium, tiki bar.
Oh, man.
There's the tequila bottles that Jonathan was talking about.
Oh.
See, I like looking at it because when Jen throws me out, that's where I'm going to live.
Yeah, come on over. And there's more Star Wars there. And then, like right next to me, ring camera that I just got. The Defiant from G.I. Joe.
Oh, yeah.
Nice. Yeah, beautiful, Pete.
Yep.
Nice lampshade.
Yeah. Little hula girl action. Yeah, it's Tiki Bar / Vintage Toys.
Oh.
Yeah. It's the man cave-ish.
Impressive. Very, very impressive.
Shabby table behind me. Can't really see that.
Is that a TV or fish tank?
Yeah, that's our flat screen. Yep. I just fish tank channel.
Looked like a fish tank. I was like, can you be a fish tank or run?
Yep.
Oh, man.
So, yeah, most of that's childhood G.I. Joe, Star Wars. None of my Motus from childhood. All that was basically given away at a churchyard sale. So
curses.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, right.
Like why we agreed to that because my folks were really good about packing everything up and saving it for a rainy day. Knowing like my brother came back and he was like, "Oh yeah, all my G1 Transformers are like, yep, here's your boxes."
Yeah, we talked about it yesterday on the retro stream yesterday. Same thing. Mine and Si's mum never kept it all, just wafted it. You know what I mean? Boxed it up, put it upstairs. So she was awesome for that.
I think Matt left in his loft, didn't he?
Yeah, Matt left it in his loft.
I never knew that.
Well, I can't really laugh, Pete, because I just did it with my Christmas stuff. Do you remember at November we'd moved again? So I'm sat there in November with my wife, and we'll get the Christmas stuff out, and then we both looked at each other and went, where is the Christmas stuff? We'd left the whole lot. We'd left everything at the old house, so I had to start Christmas again. Blooming numbers.
Show the flag.
Yeah,
All
it's down there. I see the top of it.
There you go.
Still the biggest play set ever.
7.5.
It's massive.
Glorious.
Yeah.
7 foot by 3 foot, is it? If I can remember rightly.
Yeah,
It's a
pretty
big boy.
much.
And you made the thing underneath it, didn't you, Pete?
Yeah, he's got it on.
Yeah, I don't have the
his
lights
table.
on, but yeah, a whole double deck out of wood underneath it, and it supports it all. Made of hangers and the whole bit.
Do you have yours on wheels so you can move it around?
Sure
yeah.
do. It's on casters.
Yep.
And coming up on Chasing 80s Toys, we're going to be doing a like in-depth dive with the flag here this
It's a
year.
good show, that Chasing 80s. It's a good channel, man. I enjoy that show. I really do.
Yep.
It's fun. I never thought I'd be doing it, but Chris was nice to invite us on. We were already kind of
Jeff, you're all previous. That your Christmas episode, that one for Christmas, was, I think, one of my favorite things for YouTube for that. Yeah, I loved it. Absolutely loved it.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
See, I can remember when my dad got me the AT-AT for my birthday, which turns out was more like 16 years old, not 18 like I thought. My brain was wrong. But and my friend Nofrio and I got back into collecting. That spurred us to get back into collecting figures. And I remember we went into the closet upstairs in our parents' room or wherever it was, and they were all in a wooden crate. All our childhood toys were in a giant wooden box. And I remember going through that and finding stickers on them all, like Scotch tape or something, and it was like 50 cents, $1. Like they were getting prepared to go to a garage sale or something. So I remember we felt like we were rescuing them out of this box and peeling the stickers off so that they wouldn't get sold.
What are you doing?
So someone had prepared them for a garage sale, but that never happened, luckily. So thanks, G-Force. So so luckily I still have a lot of the toys we had when we were kids, because we rescued them in a sense at that point.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, there's still a number of things that I remember having that I don't know where they went. They just disappeared, you know?
Yeah.
You do things like that. You'll watch people's videos and they'll show something and you'll go, no way, I had that. I know exactly what that is. I think on one of your videos, you did it, John. You had the Battlestar Galactica, remember the green monster with the 4 arms?
Yeah.
OVA.
Well,
yeah.
I had that figure as a kid, and I remember seeing it. Or I think it was your video, John. I thought, no way. But where, you're like, where did it go? What did they do with that? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so there's a lot of things like that. So,
I had a giant. It was Barbie doll sized Klingon when I was a kid, and a lot of people try and tell me it's the 12-inch from Wrath of Khan or from Search for Spock or whatever it was, that Mego did or what someone did. And I'm like, when I see the figure, I'm like, no, that's not the one that I had. I swear that I had a 12-inch Klingon from I don't know, it had to be from the 70s. I'm like, because it's
an Action Man Klingon size, an Action Man. Similar to Action Man size. Klingon or G.I.
Joe. I distinctly remember the outfit that I had, because I had all the silver armor and a black jumpsuit and the boots with the spike on it and all this. But he didn't have the Mego one or whatever has makeup on his face, like it's pink and purple coloring, and mine did not have that. So I'm like, no, mine didn't look like a showgirl. It didn't look like a diva from, you know what I mean? It was like mine was a brown face Klingon, like a normal Klingon is, you know? And,
where the Klingons prepare to be boarded.
and I still can't figure out what figure that was. I don't know what we had. And then there's we had these suction cup guys, which I later found. I finally found them, but they were from Mattel. And surprisingly, I thought no one would even have these or know what they were because it took me forever to figure out what it was. And when I finally tracked them down, it's like you can't find one for less than like $300. And I'm going, geez.
You're talking about the ones that were like they were almost like jelly kind of consistency.
Yeah, they were Sucker Man, I think they were called or something. Yeah, and I remember the commercial because they would stick them on the cupboard, and the mom in the commercial would open the cupboard and scream, you know, and but yeah.
So you've got me all looking at like old like toys, like Visionaries.
Oh, like, I loved Visionaries. Yeah,
loved Visionaries, Mark. Loved them. Yeah,
they're so hard to get nowadays. Yeah, complete. They're always a mess. They're always broken. They're always missing parts. And
but I was thinking about this yesterday because there was a couple of things yesterday. I was thinking I'd love an Action Man figure, but an English Action Man. Do you know what I mean? Not G.I. Joe. I'd like because I remember I was talking to Sam about that as well, and I can't really remember having it. So I said, no, we did. We had the big Jeep. Oh yeah, of course we did. You know, it wasn't something we collected, but we did have them. And so I'd like an Action Man figure, but it is funny that old figures like Visionaries or Galaxy Rangers or Brave Star. I'd love to get some of that back in my collection. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? It's hard to find.
I definitely want some Visionaries, and I've been trying for the last 4 or 5 years, but it's like every time I find them, I don't like the condition they're in. And when I find them complete or really nice, they're $100
These guys got when you see them.
Oh yeah, the Supernaturals. Right?
Yeah.
Supernatural.
Yeah.
So I've got
I like the humanoid Supernaturals. You know, it's funny that, but John's right, and he's well. You notice as well that big vehicle for Visionaries, John. That was brittle as anything. Yeah. I mean, it was at the time, so I can imagine what that's like now.
I know. Inhumanoids is another one. Like I want those figures, but again, when you find them, the figures are always beat up and they're missing their arm extensions or the helmets. And then you're like, and when you do find them complete in really good shape, it's $100 per figure.
Yep.
So you're like, this is, even though there's maybe only like 5 or 6 figures, it's like, do I want to spend $1,000 on 5 or 6 figures? Is
well, that's what happened to me, John. I wait to get back. I loved Galaxy Rangers. I loved the blue and white. I loved the hats. I loved the way that the arms held the guns and they just came out the hole. I loved them.
Oh yeah, so they popped out, right? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly right, my friend. And there's only about 4 or 5 figures that was available. So I thought, this can't be expensive. These can't. No, you know what I mean?
Crazy.
My word. Honestly, super awesome. I went on eBay and I thought, forget that. It cost me a fortune just to look at them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
See what
sometimes they're missing the hats, and the hats are more expensive than the actual figure.
Yeah.
See, you're exactly right. And to find one with the hat as well, which was, and the white guns, it was, you know what I mean? So I thought, forget that. One day, you never know.
What I'm hoping for is that Hasbro are going to redo the entire line, because they've been doing the retro lines for everything at the moment. I hope they turn around and go, we're thinking about doing Visionaries, because I'd just be like, I don't normally buy into them, but I'd be like, I'll buy them all.
I'd love them to do Mask. Mask would be awesome if they reissued Mask. I'd get all that straight away. And I know Luke Reynolds has got a fantastic Mask collection. You know what I mean?
I know that they've worked on it because I've seen the 3.75-inch prototype figures for Mask, and they have some prototype vehicles. And the Hasbro rep that I see in the stores when I go in to do my Lego stuff, he's shown me the photos from their departments where they have. I mean, they're just plain. They're not painted. They're like plain gray or plain pink plastic or something. But they have, and their helmets come on and off, and they're like G.I. Joe size figures. And the only one that he had painted was Matt Tracker, because they had done Matt Tracker before, and they're just going to re-release that figure.
10th anniversary of Hasbro or Kenner box set. There was a San Diego Comic Con, that one.
That Matt Tracker, yeah. So they're going to re-release that.
G.I. Joe card.
I know what you mean, David. Yeah.
And so he was in the photo with the other prototype ones, but he was the only one that was painted because he's already been done. But the other ones were just the plain gray or plain pink plastic as prototypes. And they had a car and a couple other things. And it was like, So I know for a fact that Hasbro has these things modeled and made, but they still haven't even announced it. And it's been, I saw them 2 years
I don't
ago.
know that, Johnny. Did all the Kenner molds from the Ghostbusters and from, I mean, Hasbro must have bought all the molds as well.
Got it. Yeah. Unless they were already taken away. Like some of the Kenner Star Wars molds were like given to companies in Hong Kong or Argentina or something. You know what I mean? So not all those molds came to Hasbro. Some of them were like left in other countries or given away. I don't know how it works, but they were
there is an
somewhere
issue
else,
with the mask,
license
for it.
Yeah,
because Kenner still owns the license. They've not actually.
That's what I mean, you see, because you've got Mask, you've got Visionaries, you've got, you know what I mean? And I was thinking, is one of the reasons why they haven't got into these toy lines yet is because of the molds. But then I thought, well
I don't know.
I
know when we asked Rob from Tats and Toys with a question, he said basically no one knows who's got the license now. I know
got you. Good old Tats and Toys.
5 or 6 years, I've actually put like little things out, like the 10th anniversary box. Have you guys ever watched G.I. Joe Retaliation, the second G.I. Joe movie?
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I like that one. Yeah.
Have you seen the extra bit after the credits?
Yeah.
Where
I can't remember.
Mask in that. They mentioned Mask in that section.
Yeah.
That's where it all started from as well.
But it was like over 2 years ago when the Hasbro reps showed me those prototype pictures, and it's been 2 years and we haven't even got a announcement of Mask. So I've been wondering what's going on.
When's the anniversary? Is it this year or next year? When's the anniversary? It's normally toys come out in the anniversary.
Wasn't it 84 or 85 for Mask? So I mean that would be a couple of years down the road.
A couple of years time, isn't it?
But I remember the guy at Mattel, the Mattel reps were showing me pictures of the Origins line a year before they hit the stores. So, and it was shortly after they showed me the pictures that we got the announcement, So I was thinking the same thing. I was like, okay, well, the Mattel rep showed me the photos of the He-Man stuff, and then a few months later we got the announcement. But it's like that didn't happen with the Mask stuff. It's been 2 years and we still don't hear anything, So.
It was either last year or the year before. It was either 2019 or 2020. There was teaser posters put out that there was meant to be a Mask movie getting made or a Mask series.
Yeah,
and they were hoping to bring the toys. They kind of showed off images that there was making a toy line. I'm hoping that still goes because I would love to see everybody. I would love to see an updated version of Mask Visionaries. I know is it the Silverhawks?
Yeah,
Well, they're not going to be Chrome though, are they? Apparently, it's Super 7 that's taken on Silverhawks, and they're not going to be Chrome.
The ugliest Silverhawks.
Yeah, weird that. Yeah, it's very, very strange that you wouldn't do it. I mean, that's what the whole thing for that was, wasn't it? Really, but I see, I'm happy for this retro stuff. So I'm not like Scuba and Vintage and so that I can get stuff and look for parts and everything else. I've had my Endor Ewok Village, and I made a video of it a year ago. So I'll get the parts for it, and I still didn't get the bloody parts for it.
Yeah, I still need a wooden stick in the chair.
That's what I mean. So I'm not one to.
Well, the problem I have is that little wooden stick that holds up the fire pit thing
on the
Ewok Village.
The fire.
Every time I find that wooden stick, it's freaking $50 online somewhere, and I'm going, I don't want to pay $50 for this tiny little stick.
That's what I mean, John. That's exactly why I like this retro line. I've just got the Ecto one. A couple of remember the to go with the figures you sent, John. The Kenner Ecto one, which is great because I saw it on Smuggler's Canyons, but trying to find an old 80s one with all the parts and everything, it's a nightmare. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So oh, Mrs. Scuba Pete.
The missus.
She's in the other living room, Mark. She's in the other living room.
The other living room.
She's in the other living room.
The 13th one in the mansion. Sorry, no, that's the standard house.
She's in the east wing of Scuba Pete's house. You know
what?
Yeah.
She is a doll because she has allowed the toy collection to spill up into our bedrooms. Actually, the way this house was built, it's one long bedroom, whereas in other houses, because they're all kind of cookie cutter and built the same, other people's homes, like our neighbors, that's another separate bedroom entirely. But ours is just one long room. So she has allowed me, kind of like similar here, where the TV's at the far end, the toys have kind of started to bloop, 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 pop up. So she's tolerating.
She's awesome, your missus, though. She's awesome.
Yeah. There's an armoire in there, and that's what the TV's in. And up on top, there was just some random bits and
Falcon, Castle Grayskull.
Now it has the Kenner Hall of Justice.
Oh yeah,
and Darkseid's Destroyers up there with the box, and
Well, John's just done that, haven't you, John? You've just taken over your whole house now with your collection.
It's going to be the toy condo by the time we're done.
Right?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. You have to sell tickets. We'll all come and look at John's museum. Be fantastic.
Big velvet ropes and time for the
The problem is this wall is concrete. And nothing can drill into this wall. We've tried. It's terrible.
Can you not get those 3M strips, something like that? Or I don't know.
Yeah, what about the command strips?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I tried those sticky strips once, and I put it on and then moved some of the pictures, so I took them off, and it took the paint off the wall.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, so there's spots with paint ripped off in the square shape of the sticky strip. So that doesn't.
Yeah, that's not fun.
I got to repaint one of the walls now, but
I can bring a masonry bit and a drill over. We can do this.
We actually did that. We tried it and it didn't work. With a hammer drill, an impact driver wouldn't go through it. This stuff's made of like diamond concrete or something. It's
Well, it is for hurricanes. I mean,
yes, yeah. It's so we don't blow away in a hurricane. Yeah.
He does. Her craft room is filled with Yoda, Grogu, and Mando. Yep. It's awesome.
Brilliant.
I got hooked on these.
The Christmas Grogu.
They did the Christmas one first with the little Christmas sweater. And then for Valentine's Day, they've got a new one with the hearts the little hearts that shows.
Be mine.
And they're like $10 or $12 at Target, and so it's going to be a series, I think. So they'll do one for St. Patrick's Day and for Halloween probably, and so I'm going to get this series because they're pretty cheap. And
Johnny's a consumer dream, isn't he? Oh, there's an Easter one. Buy it. You know what I mean?
And that's when Hasbro go. And thank you for your ongoing business.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And we all fall for it. We all piss and moan and no. And then we buy it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Fine, Hasbro, I'll buy your stuff, but I will not buy the next one.
Yeah.
I'll buy the next one.
We sit on each other's streams going, repacks, rebates. Oh, I'm sick of pre-orders. Oh. And then we buy it. You know what I mean?
It's the third
Super Deluxe model?
Damn it.
Yeah.
It's really funny, Shelby, because we talk about that all the time about like figures that come out. You'll get the same figure, but it's like a different color, or they've done something different, but we still buy it.
Well, not me anymore. I'm done.
Well, I was watching Usual Mike's yesterday. I was watching Usual Mike's video on the TVC Boba Fett, and it's like $26, $27, and I'm like, come on, man, that's ridiculous price.
I didn't buy that one. I was surprised he still sold out. Because
the
thing is that like I bought the previous one that had all the extra Stormtrooper helmets and extra bits and stuff, and then they just put out this one, and this one was more expensive than the previous one. But it's the exact same mold from the waist up. It's just got different legs. I was comparing them. I put them side by side, and I'm looking at them, and I'm going, it's the exact same thing, just painted different on the top, but it's got different legs. So I'm like, and actually it's got the same boots on. So it's only the knee, from the knee to the waist, that's different. So I was like,
how many people are going to open it up as well, though, John? Because you watch box and you know all the exclusive ones have got the plastic so you can see through them. But these new boxes, it's just a photograph on it.
Yeah, these are just in a
box,
so they're easier to open up.
You're going to open it, or?
Well, they're in a box, so you might as well. You're not going to ruin the packaging.
He needs to ride my vintage Rancor.
Yeah.
You know what's going to happen. I mean, that's
Peter,
where I was
you're
like,
right.
I'm not going to get it. Okay, I'm going to get it.
I know, it's the same as what the Mandalorian on Wednesday when he had that Naboo ship. We all went, yeah, we've all got Mando ship. You know what I mean?
But this one didn't come with any accessories like the previous one had. Rocket fire stuff, a bunch of extra helmets. So I mean, there was a little bit there to justify the cost, not much, but a tiny bit. Whereas this is just, it's a figure with a gun. So why isn't it $13.99 like all the rest?
I know. And this is the thing, I can't fall for this extra. Do you not remember the legacy packs that come with that little white locker? It was full of guns, full of accessories, and so these were Star Wars figures that came in. So now all of a sudden it's an exclusive to have more than 1 or 2 guns. I'm like, well, 5 years ago we were putting loads in a locker with them.
Yeah, you get 30 guns in the pack. Yeah,
I know. It's the Joe Retros. Like 18 guns.
But the Joe Retro,
exactly right. Yeah.
You know,
see, it's gotta be this new contract. Like Hasbro, I'm willing to bet that Disney said if you want to keep the license, Hasbro, you got to pay us 50% of the profit. Because there's
I know, it's not what Pete just said. I bought some of these G.I. Joes and look at all the accessories, even a stand that they come with. This is the same company that's selling PVC for $27.
Well, that's what I'm trying to say right now.
He's saying that
they just signed a new contract with Disney Lucasfilm. Like that's all in the news right now that as of this year, they've got a whole new contract with them for Hasbro to make Star Wars toys.
I thought that was the Star Wars year they did that.
And I think Star Wars, Disney, Lucasfilm, whatever, came to Hasbro and said, if you want to keep making action figures and be exclusive, as in the only company, because like if you look, like DC has Spin Master and McFarlane toys, and there's another company that's going to start making DC toys. So DC doesn't make it exclusive. You know what I mean?
Right, okay.
Yeah, so but Hasbro wants to be the exclusive only company that's making action figures. Other companies can make statues or premium things like Hot Toys because they're considered a premium thing. But as far as the toy action figure goes, Hasbro wants to be exclusive and the only company that's doing it. So I really do think now Disney went, if that's the case, you have to agree to a 50% profit margin. So basically Disney's getting half the money that they sell. So they said there's no choice but to take the $13 figures and now sell them for $26 because Hasbro still wants their $13, but Disney wants $13 as well now. So they're $26 because there's no other reason to double the price. There really isn't.
Don't forget the Chinese put the shipping containers up to double the 3 times the amount of shipping container price.
Yeah.
The containers used to be $7,000. Now they've got to $30,000. That's why the figures are going up. Also, as for Hasbro making toys, it's only in your type of area. If you go to Japan, it's Bandai that I think makes the Star Wars toys.
They do, yeah. And there's a Takara line still for that Tomy. Yeah.
Well, Darren Select made that Boba Fett and they made that Darth Maul, do you remember? So they can't do that anymore if this goes through. Right.
Well, I think Disney can still do their own for their Disney Toy Box stuff and things like that,
Right.
They probably always leave that open, for their Disney stores.
Is that your message in the chat?
Yep.
Thought so.
Oh, yeah.
Upstairs.
That's Leslie. Yeah, she's upstairs.
Why is behaving, David? Why is behaving? Usually he's on his live streams, effing and blinding and swearing and getting drunk, but now his missus is here. He's got to be careful. Do you know what I mean? He's got to...
So you buying toys careful, Scoob? Yeah, okay.
But I bought some of the Takara droids.
Have
I
you
got
bought
like
any new toys lately?
I got like the R2D2 and the C3PO and the R5D4, and they come in a box. They're like they're still like 3.75 inch scale.
They're exactly the same motor thing. It's just different.
But they're die cast metal too.
Yeah.
Oh,
they're made out of metal.
Yeah.
And they come in a nice little box that's all Japanese writing on them and everything.
The R2 winds up, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Does the R2 wind up?
No. It's just like a regular figure, but it's die cast metal. And
wow, they are.
It took me like 6 weeks to get it here, though. I mean, the ones that I've ordered, they take weeks to get here, but it's all right.
Yeah. It's better than back in the day, isn't it? Because UK was Palitoy, French was Meccano,
Australia was Toy.
Yeah.
What was Gaslight? Argentina or Brazil was Gaslight.
Yeah. Lily Lady was Brazil.
Yeah. It was Tops.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, he's got a couple of them. Yeah. The Takara ones, yeah.
Yeah.
Are those die cast also?
Yeah, they're heavy.
Yeah, they're heavy, yeah.
Probably cheaper to make as well.
Ooh, camera. Come on,
yeah, they're pretty cool. The droids that I got are pretty cool. I like the droid ones that I got so far. Yeah.
But yeah, he can. There is that articulation.
5 points again. Yeah.
And the waist twist, right? Yeah.
Yeah, waist twists. And then a loop.
Are they expensive?
Mm-mm.
No, they're reasonable.
30 quid each shop, or about.
That's not that bad.
No, I don't even think mine were that.
No,
I think they were like
$10
or so. You know.
Yeah,
wow.
12,
okay.
15, something like that.
Yeah. And then shipping. You're getting them.
Yeah.
I
but
agree,
I just thought
Jonathan.
the boxes are cool. You know. Yeah, they're just a neat little.
There we go.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, it's like what Jonathan's saying right there. I mean, it's all right saying that they're half in the license to Disney and Lucasfilm, but there's us buggers that have to pay for it. Do you know what I mean?
Well, that's what I'm wondering about. Like how many people are like me, where they're gonna be like, I'm just not gonna like. I just didn't want to pay the $26 for a figure that should be $13. So I said no.
I mean, that's a big jump, though, John. I remember the Mandalorian cards that came out. The glossy ones was $17.99 or $18.99.
And I said no to those. I went no because they're hitting the $18 mark. No, I'm not buying them when they get that much. No 3.75 inch figure should be more than $13, $14. So
I think over here, because the import, we pay about 18 quid for Star Wars 3.75.
Yeah.
When they first come out, so
that's roughly about $13.99. So add on a bit more for the exchange rate, and that's roughly about right. So
but 18 quid we pay over it sometimes for the brand new figures. If you don't pay that, they don't come out over it because only certain companies get them in.
Well, if they're going to do this, John, how much a bloody Black Series going to be? 6 inches is going to be in its 30s, isn't it?
Oh yeah, there's some
You're looking
already.
At $35.
Yeah, there's some that are already being listed at $32.99 for the retail price.
Not a prayer. Because I got that big bad toy, so I pre-ordered the George Lucas one, on the Stormtrooper card. Yeah. And after tax, after shipping, you're looking at $37 just for that off Big Bad Toys. I was like, what? For a 6-inch figure?
Well, that's why why I don't buy Super 7 Reaction anymore, because they're $17 or $18.99 a figure, and they're only 5 POA. So I'm like, no. So I want those G.I. Joe figures. I want some of the stuff, but I'm saying no.
That's the only
because
one I
of
got.
The price.
Is that
so awesome.
Super 7 one?
Yeah.
What do you think of them, Pete?
What do you think? I'm not gonna collect these, get the whole set. I know they've got the dog team and the musher, from the cartoon. I'm not going in on all those. I got it for the card back because it's that silent issue.
Yeah, it's a silent issue. Yeah.
That's what got me was the hunk of cardboard.
Yeah. I think the way it's actually going, people are just going to collect now their only favourite character because I can't collect everything. It's just getting too expensive.
Yeah.
So many people in the community have said that. I think John said it. I know Matt said it. Papa Gord said it. They've all said the same thing because it's just got ridiculous. One of the nicest things about the Black Series now that's come out is they're doing it in film and thing, aren't they? Return of the Jedi, Empire Strikes Back. So you can choose your own.
I just want to. I've reduced it down to original trilogy now, where that's why I really want Bib Fortuna, and then if they keep doing, like, if we get Hammerhead down the road and stuff like that, I'll get that. But I just can't get all the figures anymore like I was before. It breaks my heart to do it. I don't want to stop. I want to keep going. But the problem is, it's just too much. Just going to get too. I just can't afford. I don't have a job where I can get all this stuff, you know. So
well, me and Scuba were talking to Holo Chronicles, and he's going around his new toy room and showing us he's got Black Series kimono, Ahsoka Troopers. I'd never even seen one of them, and you know what I mean. I'm like,
I never saw one. Yeah, I never saw one.
Never saw him, and now I'm not paying $80 for a 6-inch figure.
And like instead, I've been filling out like I've been showing the pictures online and stuff when I get them, but I've been filling out my vintage G.I. Joe line because there's a lot of holes I have in that I'd like to fill. So it's like I'm going back and getting those. And
it drives me more. The modern stuff is, and the price tags and the scant availability of it's driving me more and more back into vintage or new lines. I mean, when I'm out toy hunting and I'm like, well, I think I'm going to start collecting Dungeons and Dragons figures. I've started doing that.
Yeah,
I agree 100%.
I never played D&D. I had friends who played it, but I'm like, this toy line's really cool, and they're fairly inexpensive in the grand scheme of last 17 Star Wars figures and all that. You know where I'm living, so it's like, how much is this figure? And he's like, oh, that's the super rare, North Lord, $50, and I'm like, I'll take it.
Yeah. That's presently paying for a Black Series, so I might as well take it.
What's that? I'll be like, there.
But
there's only a certain amount of time you can put up with it till you move on to something else. I agree with you, Pete. 100% agree with you. As I got into Playmobil and Motu Origins and 86 Transformer line simply because of that. You know, I didn't want to wait around for a figure and then pay extraordinary prices for it just because it's not in the stores. You know, it's
the thing too is that like then they start talking about things like if they did mask, let's say, like I'd try some of that if the price was right, and I'm looking forward to this new Playmates Star Trek line because I love the old Playmates Star Trek. So if this line is reasonably priced, if they come out and they've priced them reasonable, like say He-Man Origins line, I thought was reasonably priced. What's that?
They're like $18.
Are they going to be 18?
Yeah, they're on Big Bad Toy Store.
You know, it makes me laugh. We're all complaining about $18 figures, yet Mark up there has been spending $140 on what?
See, now I don't know. If the Playmates figures are really $18
Mark's
each.
Like, come into my world.
So,
when I need to put a down payment on the house, I sell one figure and then I've got like.
There you go. I bet Mark's listening to us going, "What are these lads talking? This isn't money. What are we talking about?"
I get the whole price thing. I really do.
If you want to go for expensive figures, right? I mean, I paid a little bit for this about 4 years ago, but now it's like tripled in price. So I've got Hero from Starship Troopers. This is the Play at Kai one. I picked this up for 60 quid, and recently I checked the price on it, and some people are wanting like 400 or 500 quid for him.
Wow, really? That much money? He's cool. I like that film, Starship. I only watched it for this time last year, Starship Troopers.
Usual Mike, it's more than 500.
It's one of the CGI. This character's from one of the CGI movies. I think it's something It's Cried. But he's probably one of my most expensive things I've got so far.
Awesome.
Very important when you come to it, you don't look at how much you got around the house or your collection. You just enjoy it for what you got, don't you?
You do until you move, and then you go, "Oh, why have I bought so much stuff?"
How much stuff you got? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a few months back when I decided to rearrange this room to make it a little bit better for when I'm doing the live stream.
Is that the G.I. Joe Hasbro Collector's Guide?
Actually, happened until I started taking stuff off the shelves and
exactly.
I was like,
yeah.
oh my god! And then you found things that you forgot you had, or it's like what you were saying earlier on, Shabby. You pick things up, but no longer have no connection with it, so it just kind of sits here.
I know. Like I said when I first came on, there's a thin line between collecting and hoarding. It's a very thin line, you know. So.
Sometimes I'm like that when I look at this collection. It's like I'm actually a collector or I'm a bloody hoarder. It's getting harder.
A little bit from column A, a little bit from column B.
Yeah, exactly.
So, according to this book, according to this book, there is 1,259 different O-ring version G.I. Joe figures. So that's the O-ring traditional vintage figures. There's 1,259 figures to collect.
I wouldn't doubt it.
And then they changed the design to the more So the O-ring original ones, there's 1,259 different figures to collect. And they have photos. This book has photos and accessories of every single figure.
That's a cool book, that, John. That's a good idea.
It's only it's like $20 on Amazon, Shabby.
Yeah, it's
I'd love to get into it. It's like you've heard me say 1,000 times. If I was raised in the States, I don't think I'd be anything other than G.I. Joe. I love that line.
It's Shabby. It's one of them collections where G.I. Joe is the same scale of Star Wars. It's that big. It's like Transformers, Star Wars, G.I. Joe.
But it's all the vehicles, David. Yeah. You look at the things from the flag of the Defiant, like Scuba has, to the little things. It's like, I'd have loved it all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the size of the collection is how big it is now. It's unreal. When you go back to like humanoids, there's only like 8 or 10 figures for the whole collection.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, it comes down to space, isn't it? It's for nowadays. It's like everyone says, "What do you want in your collection?" Except for one or two of us, it's probably comes down to space.
And that's what I've deliberately done that moving into this new house. So in other words, I've got plenty of space here, but I thought I'm not pulling out all my old stuff just to when I know I'll be getting more stuff. Do you see what I mean? Because then I'll be back to square one again. So you're right there, David. Yeah.
It always comes down to space.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I agree with you, because now that the car boot sales are opening back up, I'll be picking up more and more stuff, hopefully. And I'm now starting to think, I'm picking all this stuff up, but where the hell am I going to put it?
See, it's different for you though, Bab, because what you'll do is you don't mind, you find bargain things. So you'll find something like for 40p and you'll probably, but all them 40p's with all the stuff you bring home, all the masses, I suppose. So what do you do with it? Or do you keep it in boxes or do you display it?
So if you bring 10 figures home a week.
Some of the stuff you get, I will put on display, but majority is like I will put into a box, and then every so often it's like I just do a rotation.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I'll fit display, kind of get fed up of looking at that display, and then I'll
freshen
some
it up.
of the new stuff that I've got. I'll put that on display, and then blah blah blah. But if you were to see the spare room menu, you would be like, "What the hell, man?" Because I've got like totes and totes of stuff. I really don't have the space to display stuff. And then I'm coming across stuff that I didn't know I got, or I forgot that I forgot I had it. And but it's like these, for example. I seen these. It's like I'm going to have them because I'm going to put them up with the Power Rangers, because I do have a couple of Kamen Rider stuff up there anyway. But I've already got the smaller versions of them. It's like, well, why have I bought the big ones?
If you see something at the right price these days, you'll pick it up.
Exactly. You know what the weird thing is, though? I'll tell you what the worst thing is. I've got all my boxes out today, and I must have about 20 boxes just full of stuff. About 9 of those boxes are empty boxes in boxes. I can't throw out.
I just recently purged a whole lot of those empty boxes that were stored in boxes.
But what am I keeping them for? I mean, listen, I'll never get rid of my stuff, and I love it. I always think, well, keep it because if anything should happen to me, I don't want to be morbid, but if anything should happen, and Jenny says, would she get more for a price with the box? Do you see what I mean? Because, but then again, Jen will give it all for free. I know she will. She don't care.
But certain things like I'll keep Star Wars packaging because that's my thing. I'll keep like if it's a main character of Transformers, like it's Optimus Prime or it's Soundwave or Starscream, I'll keep the box. Mm-hmm. But if it's Impact or the Scourge, you know what I mean? I don't need to keep the box for that guy. So it's like, and then Marvel Legends, I don't keep any of the boxes of Marvel Legends because
all these I've kept boxes for. I mean, the wings are right here, and I've taken all these out because I like. So you see the way Pete's got them hung up at the back right there. I kind of like doing it. So I pulled out loads of Star Wars that have just been kept in boxes, like a Starfighter or the Sith Infiltrator, and I pulled them all out and thought, oh, I'll just stick them on the ceiling, see what they look like. So. But then that just leaves the box, and I'm not going to throw the box away. So really, I'm thinking I'm saving space by taking them out. But it's the bloody box that's still in the box, so I haven't saved any space at all. Do you know what I mean?
Most of those boxes, though, Shabby, I politely, cut the tape, not on a vintage box, but on like the modern, like if it's TVC or what have you, or Star Wars, not Micro Collection, Micro Machines. All those, and I've flattened them down, and like I have a box for my flag. The flag box is completely full of boxes.
But then are you throwing away the inserts? Because like I hear about people flattening the boxes all the time, but all the cardboard and plastic that was, or the foam that was in the box, is the size of the box.
I don't have any of the foam. But but all the cardboard and everything, I make that all flat, and then I'll just store it in there.
What a good idea! Flatten the boxes. What a good idea!
But like I said, I take a knife and I cut those, and it's on, like I said, the vintage collection, modern stuff. I'm not cutting tape and squashing old school Kenner boxes. I do the opposite. If anything, I like rescue them and make them back.
Yeah. It's difficult. It's hard. It's hard.
That's a quick question. What time are you going to, pal?
Well, because Scuba come in, I thought we'd just kind of continue it for like another 30 minutes.
Let's go all night. I'll go get my duvet.
Well, I've only got another 10 minutes or so.
Probably another 10 minutes, and then we'll probably call it a night.
Okay. Well, thanks for having us. Oh, this has been awesome. It's been a great chat.
Yeah. Well, I learned a lot from Mark over here. That was good going through that anime stuff.
It's nice to get to know.
Yeah.
Oh, it's nice to have people. I agree with John, though. It's nice having people like Mark on, because that's something I said it yesterday. It's always interesting and fascinating to see what other people collect, what other people are interested. That's the best thing about this community. 100%. We don't all collect the same. So it's nice to me. It's refreshing to meet other people like, oh, that's interesting, and and that sort of thing. So yeah, awesome.
Those are my passions. Is like I grew up with Star Wars, so I have some Star Wars stuff. I wish I had more vintage stuff, but majority of the stuff that I do is all modern. Mm-hmm. I do like Keyman. I mean, I've got a ton of Transformers. I've got a couple of like vintage ones, but not a lot. Majority of my collection Transformers are all modern, but I'd be there for hours showing my Transformer collection off, because even when I done the room tour, I showed what I've got on display. But then I have a 20-litre box that is filled to the brim. It must have at least 1,000 Transformers in there.
Oh my gosh!
Well, here's another question. I've got a question for all of you here. Say, I pulled up a box today, and it's full of Attack of the Clone figures, that sort of thing. From the early 99 to 2000, right? So they're all carded. Some of those cards, the bubbles have got a bit yellow on them. Now, would you undo them? I've got a big loose box full of vintage toys, and so would you undo that card because it's got a bit yellow and put it in a bit like a loose figure, if you will, or would you keep the card? Would you still keep it on the card?
I'd still keep it on the card,
even though it's not vintage per se, even though it's only 20 years old. You still do that.
The question comes down to it, shows what you're going to do with it at the end of it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
If you're thinking of selling it, or thinking if you want to get a bit of money for the long run, if the yellow card, send it off to be graded. The figure and say, take the card off the figure and get the graded figure.
Right. No, that's a good way of looking at it. Because if it was an 80s card, I'd never do it. Of course I would. But I was just thinking with like 15. I don't know. Did you notice a couple of years back, about 10, 15 years ago, when the Legacy collection came out and the Saga collection, the cards went yellow very quickly. It wasn't. They must have changed the plastic or something. You know. I think so. So that's what I was thinking. Even though these things are only worth about $10, what do I do? Do I take him off the card and sell? You know, I won't sell him, but I'm just trying to find space.
I got that animated.
Right.
I got that animated Boba Fett from the holiday special cartoon from a friend of mine. Gave it to me before I left Seattle, and when I put it in the cardboard box to store, it was a perfectly clear, beautiful.
That's the worst one, plastic. The Legacy one. Yeah.
And then I when I opened up the box just like last year, so this was in storage in a closet in a cardboard box, so there was no way it was getting light to it at all. No light shined on this thing for like 5 or 6 years, and I opened it up and the bubble was so brown, it was like brown. Yeah, that one. And I couldn't see through the bubble at all. It was like brown. So I opened it up. And then recently I bought another one that had a clear bubble. So I'd have one, I still have one packaged that's clear like yours, Shabby. But
so you opened it.
Yeah, the one that I had stored was turned so brown you could barely even see through it. So I opened it up, and people say that it's sunlight, that it's light in general.
It's not sunlight. No,
it was in a closet. It was stored. So
yeah.
It turned.
I've got a big box full of the trilogy collections. Remember before the vintage collection came out, they sold them on the vintage card backs.
Yeah.
All in a box, all pristine. Opened it up. Okay, none of the bubbles have gone yellow except for Bosk, which is weird. Even the clamshell's gone yellow in that, yet none of the rest of them have. Lando went a bit yellow there, which is common for that figure.
Yeah.
And the Stormtrooper went yellow just on that part right there as well. But they're in a box, closed up, put away. So I agree, it's not the sunlight.
It's just the plastic's bad and it's degrading.
The materials they're using now. You know.
Yeah.
But G-Force, they've been in an air-conditioned home. It doesn't ever get above 70 degrees in this place. So there's no chance that it's temperature, like at least unless cold temperature is what changes the color. I mean, if that's the case, because my dad sometimes turns our air conditioner down to like 60 degrees and I'm freezing my butt off here. I have to wear sweaters to keep myself warm.
Penguins are walking by.
So it's like, that's Shabby.
Character. Like,
what's that?
Depending on the character, whether or not I would open it or not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I bought a pegboard, Shabby, because
that's a good idea.
Installed the pegboard I got one wall that's all pegboard now, because I
know what you mean. It's like Michael Mercy did the same thing. You put those things and you just put your figures. Yeah. I know what you mean. Yeah.
There's six or seven figures on every peg. So you can't see the ones that are in the back. You only see the front one. But the advantage is I got rid of 50 boxes that were in storage, and now they're on display. And so it was like a whole second storage shed was full of boxes that are now.
What a good idea. How much are they expensive, those? Where'd you get them from? Like not B&Q, I'm talking English, Home Depot.
I went to Home Depot. They were like, I think I spent a total of around. After buying, I got four slats of pegboard, so 4 pieces of pegboard, all the pegs, and I had to buy wood because you got to put a space behind them. You can't put it right against the wall, or you can't get the pegs in. So you got to have like a spacer. So I had to build like a little frame for it, and then tack that to the wall. It was around $100 for the whole project.
What a good idea.
Well, like Baz was saying, you can rotate those figures so you can give yourself a different look every so often.
You just take the 6 off the peg and put a new one in front every once in a while, you know. So
I tell you what, I've not thought, and I've just seen your video with that on it on your. Wow, that's a great idea. Yeah, Good stuff. You've saved my marriage. How about that?
So next week live stream, you'll be showing off your new pegboards.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. I'm going to make a little plaque endorsed by Super Awesome Geek Show just underneath it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
And I
even the
seen-
vintage,
and I seen
even
that what
vintage
John done with
carded,
the pegboard. I was thinking about doing that with the Black Series.
yeah.
I'm looking for that because, like I said, with my Black Series, it's pretty straightforward. All my new boxes are down there. Hang on, let me just put the lights on so you can see.
But even the vintage figures that I have carded, like for Flash Gordon, for Robotech, for Star Wars, I put them in those like Figure Shield or Star cases, and they have the little hanger on them, so you can hang them on the pegs as well. You know, and
Mark,
they're protected in those cases.
Mark, how are you displaying your goodies?
In the attic, in boxes.
In the
Or
attic,
under the bed.
hermetically sealed.
Yeah.
You got
And
really
under his
small
bed.
rooms over there.
You go up there and just
guys.
play with them, you know, like in the middle of them, like, all right, okay.
What I do is I basically go. Here, let me show you. I go. Oh wow, that's a really nice figure. That's really nice. That is. That is really nice. There we go. That's all I do. I review them and then I will stick them under my bed. Well, I review some of them, but then I'll put them under the bed for storage because I don't have the space. Like I could put them on the wall, but then, until I get a bigger place, I just store them for now.
What about space?
Collector's nightmare in its space. You're exactly right. Exactly right.
Or especially with the Lightning collection of the Power Ranger world.
It's just like an example, Shabby. I picked up that Mario Castle thing. I seen it for a good price, bought it, and after I bought it, put it in the can. I'm sitting in the can. It's like, where the hell am I going to put this?
Exactly.
Yeah.
What I mean.
Yeah.
It's so big. Yeah.
Well, with say collecting anything, with the Ranger stuff at the moment, it's like there's over I think probably 200-300 Rangers. Wow. Yeah, there's tons right now, but in all together, there's like say you can have. So 10 years ago, there was 199. There are probably a lot more now. So, and they released 43, 46 figures last year. It's only been going on for around about 2 years. So they're not even close to it. Then you got different variants, different versions of it all coming up. Big packs, small packs, single packs.
Yeah.
It's a nightmare. But then also with Figma or Fig Arts, whichever one I go with, they've got a collection as well. So most of them, all my Figma are pretty much upstairs in the attic. There's some under the bed. And at some point, I'm going to have to go through my attic and like kind of arrange boxes or get one giant big like case and just stick every single one in there and then kind of use it like that for a while. But yeah, so
the thing with the Power Rangers, Mark, is that even though you've got the figures, you've also got the Zords as well. And the Zords are that's the one. Yes.
They've only just started doing proper Zords at it's going to be expensive. If they did every single Zord, this house would be completely full. And I'm not even joking. You all laugh now. Not when I'm literally all the time. Just buried in Zords.
I mean, we're all saying it, but we're not going to stop collecting, are we? So it's a problem we're always going to have. Do you know what I mean? We're always going to have it. So.
I think
he understands like what I'm meaning with space wise is that you buy stuff and it's like, oh, where'd you put it? But I really want that battle cat, and I know that battle cat is bigger than the Origin.
Yeah,
I'm just waiting till it goes on clearance because they've got tons of them, haven't they, John? So I'm waiting till it goes down, and I'm going to buy that one myself, definitely.
Like I was thinking is like, once I get the Revelations battle cat, then I can open up my Revelations He-Man, so I could have. And then all I have to do is try and find a vintage He-Man figure so I can put into the vintage Battle Cat. But then again, the vintage Battle Cat, I'm missing the helmet, so I know that's going to be a pain in the arse to get because it's they're expensive kind of thing.
Yeah.
But
yeah, Jonathan's right. It's like I was redoing some of my Transformer display, and some of those Transformers are so big that I've got an entire wall in the toy room that's just Transformers because some of them are massive.
Yeah, like 2 foot tall.
Yeah. So
well, you can tell yourself though, can't you? It's like we talk about G-Force. You watched G-Force video from a year ago, and you look at him now. The amount of stuff that's in his room. Do you know what I mean? He's getting bigger and bigger behind him. So I understand.
That's a cool Starscream. I've had that one before. That's a cool one. Yeah. It's like a Starscream.
This is the only Starscream and on the Transformers like shelf unit that I've got. He can't even fit because he hits the roof.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So he comes with the crown too. That one has the crown for King Starscream.
Is actually attached to him.
Yeah,
but I do not have space to put that properly.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna admit Jen's gonna be so pleased when I tell her all the advice to get rid of all those boxes. So thank you, everyone. Thank you very much. You saved Shabby from a black eye, which is awesome. I appreciate it.
I think just before I think we end your Baz ends it, Mark and everyone else, where can we find you if anyone wants to subscribe or follow you or anything else?
You can follow everyone asks me this, and it's the same script that I have to say with everyone. You can find me everywhere online, bar Twitter as Heirloom, or on Twitter as Mainstream Live. And because you gentlemen don't know, some person stole my username on Twitter, and I can't use it. Yeah.
All right, I'll give it back. If you're going to be funny about it, Mark, you can have it back. No problem.
Well, you've not used it. You've not used it for like 6 years, so come on.
I haven't bought anime figures in 6 years. That's why.
Well, there we go. If you want my knowledge, give me my Twitter handle back.
Yeah. Brilliant.
John? I've seen the bigger version of that as well, Jonathan. That's huge.
John, where can we find you?
Oh, so the YouTube channel is Super Awesome Geek Show. On Twitter, it's Awesome Geek Show. I had to leave the super off because it doesn't fit on Twitter. But I think everything else, like Instagram and Facebook, it's Super Awesome Geek Show.
Sweet. Shabs?
Mine is Mark with a C, Shabby Geek, and it's on everything really. I think Facebook, Instagram, just write Mark Shabby Geek on YouTube, and you'll find me.
You have a Pete?
You can find me on Chasing 80s Toys on YouTube with Chris and Jeff. And you can find me myself on Instagram and Twitter. Look up Scuba Pete.
Nice.
Dave, where can we find you, Dave?
Mate, David World Toys on YouTube, D World Toys on Twitter, and David World Toys on Instagram. And same on Facebook.
I'm on Facebook. Dark Liking 81 on Instagram. I can't even remember what my Twitter one is.
Dark Liking, Twitter. 81.
I'll just tell you the name. You think you know? Oh, the Dark Shocker on Twitter.
Dark Shocker.
Tricky.
Nice.
And if you want to go like the posh way, I've also started TikTok as well.
Look at you! Oh,
that's right. I do have a TikTok, but I haven't put a video up in like a year.
I did one. Yeah, that was it. You know what I mean? So yeah, the same way.
No chance.
That like no fun
show on TikTok too. Yeah.
Baz is going to be jumping around, changing outfits on TikTok.
Yeah.
Some landscape behind him like that. You know what I mean?
Majority of the stuff I put on TikTok is my collection kind of thing, eh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's just another way just to show off, because there is a lot of, like, if you're a Power Ranger fan, there's a lot of Power Ranger fans on there, so it's just nice to show off your collection of that and Star Wars and Marvel kind of thing, eh?
Yeah, it's a good idea, why not? Good luck to you.
Where it goes. But it's like mostly it'll be my YouTube channel that I can do stuff on and that. So.
More famous than Baz.
But I appreciate.
Thanks for everyone for coming on anyway, and John, I hope your brother gets better anyway. Or get there soon, mate.
It's been awesome. Thanks. I was only going to come on for half an hour, so it's been brilliant.
I thought I'd just pop on and say hi, but
I did.
Nice surprise.
Yeah,
it's been awesome.
Yeah, something different.
Well, we'll call this a night. So,
All right.
bye.
See you guys.
Bye.
Thank you very much.